right, well, it's great to be back. MJ and the crew, we're all back together again, live, 6 o'clock here on a Monday, the day after the Super Bowl. You know, when I planned this little trip, and this whole little trip to Indonesia to go scuba diving with Chloe, this whole thing came about Thanksgiving week. That's when the whole thing kind of materialized. I had the opportunity to go. And when I booked this thing, I didn't even realize it was like after I booked, I'm like, wait, that's right around Super Bowl. So luckily the timing came out that we were not gone during the Super Bowl. We actually returned yesterday morning at 6 a.m. Did you guys see my video of a deserted Tampa International at 6 a.m. yesterday morning? I mean, I'm standing in the middle of the pickup area. There's not a soul, a car in sight. It was like some kind of freaky Stephen King novel or something.
Because you guys just got home so early?
Well, Sunday morning, we landed at 6:03. And we were right up front. We had first class on American from LAX. We had seats 1A and 1C. And I didn't buy it. I cashed in some frequent traveler miles, and we booked early, and we were able to, ridiculous. We were able to fly from Tampa to Chicago. That was the outbound leaving. And then LAX back to Tampa on American. And for both of us, I only burned like a total of like 80,000 miles. And that was coming back even first class. So, yeah, I fly American the least, but the flights worked out going to Chicago and then coming back on that LAX red eye because we had only about 3 hours in LA coming back from Taipei, Taiwan. Anyway, I'll get into some more details later on. Just an awesome trip. If you didn't follow me on Instagram, I'll point out some of the videos that you should watch. Really an amazing journey. And to the thousands and thousands, tens of thousands that watch my videos while Chloe and I were away, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, we'll get into some stuff a little later on. Obviously, the big story as we come back, we're live here on Monday, February 12th. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for, and listen, you know how many people still email me during our best ofs? Do you know how many people are like responding? I mean, hundreds and hundreds of emails. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people sending messages to me on Instagram, people that hear best ofs, and we really have a high density of quality material. Because when you do a best of, you pull the best of stuff from the last couple of years, and there were a lot of people that didn't even know we were on vacation. Hence all of the messages that I got from people after listening to some of the segments. But here we are. We're back live on this Monday, the 12th of February, day after the Super Bowl. And Fester and Roxanne, what, Froggy, you couldn't make it in, really? You could.
I was busy.
I'm sure you were.
I was on my boat when you guys.
Two weeks off, and you were too busy to come in on Friday morning.
The fish were really biting in the upper Tampa Bay. I was busy.
Yeah, too busy to come in. So Roxanne, what are you doing over there? You're doing everything but paying attention to the radio show.
I have ears on my head. I can listen to you guys talk while I take my little light kit. I got a new light kit.
Oh, my God. It's like you're setting up like some kind of Hollywood production over here.
Yeah, I am.
Anyways.
To, up this studio. There is some news on that, by the way. I'll tell you later.
On what?
The studio.
Ooh. Well, are they going to consult me on anything?
Nope. You're just going to go through Roxanne.
Yeah.
So we have an update on the studio.
You go away for 2 weeks, and a lot happens around here.
So there's an update on the studio that they promised me over 3.5 years ago?
People were in here measuring. That's the update. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They were measuring.
Measuring themselves?
All right.
Measuring what exactly?
I got a 4. What do you got?
I thought it would have been a lot longer than this.
Hang on a sec. What the hell were they measuring?
Yeah.
And who was measuring?
Engineers.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I saw them.
Like
they were
what,
in
Max
here.
or the corporate guys?
Max and 2 other guys.
Was
Right?
longest wiener competition? What are they measuring?
Come on, Froggy, really?
So
That couldn't have been anything to do with the
Max
equipment.
lost, if that's the case, right?
Now, I've been asking about the studio every day for the past 3.5 years because, folks, if you don't know the deal, when Beasley approached me, actually for the third time to do the MJ Morning Show, before I went to New York in 2015, this was actually late 2014 when Beasley bought these radio stations from CBS. They approached me to come back and bring the MJ Morning Show back with the team back when Beasley first purchased all of the old CBS stations here in the market. And I decided to, take a run and go up to New York and do the WOR Morning Show for a number of years.
Sell out.
But they wanted me to do it then, and I had to turn them down. And then there was another approach. They approached me to, and a lot of people don't know this, but they approached me first a couple of years before we came back to Q105 to actually do the MJ Morning Show and launch it on what is now 98.7 The Shark. And again, didn't put the deal together, but the third time was the charm, and we brought the show back in October of 2020 in the middle of the pandemic here on Q105. But they've been promising me a freaking new studio since, 2020.
Well, I think they were measuring for furniture.
Well, I have well, you need to consult me because I designed the furniture. Anyway, I'll get into this later on. That's positive news. Anyway, Super Bowl 58 last night, which obviously was a big freaking deal. Dull game until, really the end.
It was there's a lot of errors or fumbles. There was an exciting game.
What
just not a lot of
about
scoring.
Travis Kelce shoving Andy Reid, the coach of the Chiefs, man?
That's elderly abuse.
Is he going to get talked to? Is he going to have some disciplinary action?
No.
He seems a little big for his britches.
My God. I hope he doesn't manhandle, what's-her-face, Taylor
Oh,
Swift
I
like
imagine
that.
he beats the hell out of her just from the way that looked.
My God. Anyway, folks, the Super Bowl egg test. As I was trying to get to 5 minutes ago, Froggy couldn't make it. But Fester and Roxanne came in.
It was 20 minutes long.
Fester and Roxanne came in
They didn't need me.
live last week and did the world-famous MJ Morning Show Super Bowl egg test.
Okay. Oh, I heard something.
Yep, they're cooking. They got to be close.
Grab it.
Oh my God! Look at that! What a disaster!
Oh, the 49ers. Holy cow.
The 49ers what?
They just blew up.
So that means the winner of Super Bowl 58 is going to be
KC, baby.
the Kansas City Chiefs have won the MJ Morning Show Super Bowl egg test.
Why was the microphone not louder on the egg explosion? It kind of was just a little thud. You didn't have...
See, that's why I didn't come.
Yeah, this is how we were so meticulous. Fester went out and bought the most expensive eggs just because he didn't want you upset with the specifications.
But the thud was not really that audible.
Again. Let me hear it.
It was a soft thud.
It was a muted thud.
I want to hear the thud.
Why didn't you have a microphone right on the microwave?
It was a muted thud.
Well, I don't hear even the microwave noise really that much. Did you guys have it mic'd properly?
Oh, we did. As a matter of fact, if you listen to the whole piece, it was like vibrating. It was like, you could hear that.
You know what? Listen,
we'll get to it later on.
Do your own Super Bowl test in the middle of the ocean.
I thank you for coming in, but I'm just saying.
See, he doesn't appreciate it.
I do appreciate it. I'm giving you props, but the thud the explosion of the egg was not quite. And why is your voice all husky sounding? We out drinking until 3 in the morning.
You obviously didn't watch the whole clip.
Yeah, you just took the clip from the explosion.
My internet service was not good for video streaming where I was. All right, folks, we're just getting rolling. But once again, the MJ Morning Show Super Bowl egg test predicted the winner. I am back. The whole crew, we're here live on this Monday, just getting started. At 6:09, Traffic Sound. Let's grab Pat with the latest MJ Morning Show back in minutes. Shaggy was not available for the Super Bowl halftime show last night, so that's why they went with Usher. I don't know if you guys knew that, but that was kind of an inside story. Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Shaggy's still alive? Is
he still alive? Hold on.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, Shaggy, you still alive?
Yeah, I'm alive, man. Yeah. I can't do Shaggy.
The other Shaggy is not alive. The Zoink Scoob! The late great Casey Kasem, who became a very good friend of mine.
I'm still alive, though.
That Shaggy's still, it's a terrible Shaggy.
It's good now. I'm eerie, man.
Go give him some love.
No, I think it's Irie.
Not
eerie, like scary or eerie.
This is eerie. That's the other one.
All right, so he's 55 years old. He's still alive.
Still alive. All right, MJ Morning Show, Q105, MJ and the crew, of course, day after Super Bowl, overtime win, Kansas City Chiefs defeating the 49ers. Poor John Lynch, legendary Bucs player, John Lynch, the general manager of the 49ers. They've gotten so close. What the hell was that?
Sorry, it was a sneeze, and with my nose.
Yeah, follow your nose. It always knows. So John Lynch can't seem to get that Super Bowl ring, but, well, as far as...
Not if they're playing the Chiefs, you're right.
Yeah, if they're playing the Chiefs, absolutely. All right, so big game, obviously, last night. The commercials, I had a couple of favorites. I didn't think that the density of commercials was that great. I read something while I was on vacation over in Indonesia. Yeah, we had internet. Sometimes, the speed was really, really slow, so like streaming stuff was difficult. But I did read that the companies this year, for whatever reason, were going to play it safe. So I didn't think there were a couple of standouts. I thought there were a couple of really good commercials. We'll get into the commercial segment later on. We'll probably grab some phone calls, ask you what the hell you liked. So that's coming up in just a bit. Hey, let me ask you a question, Rox. You just said something just ridiculously obscure that I reminded you of Frank Caliendo this morning.
Okay, one time, it's good to talk about Frank Caliendo around the Super Bowl time because he does all the impressions of John Gruden and John Madden. And
hold on, where was that highlighted or showcased? Did they have him in the 7-hour pregame show?
No, but that used to be the case.
Now, Frank Caliendo, the comedian, Frank Caliendo's claim to fame was he was on, was it Mad TV on Fox, right? Was that his deal?
Yeah, sure.
That's where he got started.
Yeah.
Right. But, he does great impressions.
Yeah,
right?
no,
he's
actually a very talented guy.
Yes.
But he doesn't seem to be as prevalent.
Yeah.
Even for the last like 15, 20 years, he doesn't seem to be as prevalent as he should be because he's a very talented guy.
He does do a Patrick Mahomes impression.
You sound like Kermit.
He's a touring comic. That's what he is.
Right.
That's how you'd know.
Anyway,
That's what called it. I mean, that guy talks just like Kermit the Frog.
Now,
Mahomes.
He does.
Now, wait a minute, Roxanne. Why would you make an obscure Frank Caliendo comedian reference just minutes ago during the commercial break?
Well, it's not that obscure to me because every day when I come in and everybody is so standoffish, I always go, what a bunch of Frank Caliendos in my head.
Well, hold on. Hold, stop. First of all, don't take it personally that people are being standoffish toward you. It's just early in the morning.
Exactly.
It just takes a moment to get lubed up and to loosen up. And
this is how we operate. Yeah. We just ignore each other and do the show.
I understand that.
Well,
it's always been that way.
And that's why it's because he's a great comedian. He does great impressions.
We don't have a lot of we don't have, let me
pleasantries.
We don't have a lot of small talk BS before the show.
No, and that's not what I'm looking for.
We're putting on the game face. We're kind of getting in the mindset. We open the mics and we do a great show every single day. Now, Roxanne, if you're looking, I don't know if you're looking for all of the small talk, who said pleasantries?
I said pleasantries. No, I'm not. And actually, it's a compliment to compare you to Frank Caliendo because that's what he did when I met him. He stood in a corner, was very standoffish. We were going to do a segment together, and he just stood there and talked to no one, grumpy, and then all of a sudden he came on and he just lit it up once the mics were on, once the cameras were rolling. So that's what I equate you guys to. That's why I say in my head, what a bunch of Frank Caliendos. But actually,
what's the matter with you?
he's just upset.
I'm letting Roxanne get through this. This is what I've missed for 2 weeks. So drop it on me, Rox. Keep coming.
So then I come in today and I got the most receptive glance from you that I've ever gotten.
But
it was
stop. You're waiting for my glances?
I'm not waiting. waiting for your
It
glances.
sounds like you're waiting for his glance.
No, I'm not. Like I said, I don't want to small talk with any of you. But like a hello, peppy greeting is always a good thing because it sets the tone of what your interaction might be. And you gave me like your eyes opened up a bit,
Oh my God.
and you gave me like a good glance, and I was like, oh wow, this is the most sort of greeting I've ever gotten from MJ
Like,
before we started the show.
Like I gave you the nobody beats the whiz, like the eye glistened, did a star go ding?
yeah,
Did I look at you and my my eye sparkled and went like the Nobody Beats the Whiz episode with Seinfeld? Is
yes,
that?
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
This is
exactly.
getting creepy.
My God, it is.
But I think you were just really excited to start the show, and it had very little to do with me, and I happened to catch your glance.
Now I'm here at 5:30 every morning. You guys walk in.
Yeah, there's not time for small talk.
Yeah, you guys. Let's call a spade here. You guys all walk in while the show open music is
Not
playing.
me. I come a couple seconds before.
However, if we came in at 5:30, we still wouldn't talk. So let's call another spade a spade.
That's
Yeah.
not true at all. There might be a little bit more interaction. Listen, I'm in crunch. I'm laying out all of the prep that I've done the day before. So the final half hour, I'm just kind of putting things into perspective. I'm kind of lining things up. Where do I want to do certain things during the course of the show? And I'll lay things out, but then I'll end up jumbling things anyway because I kind of just build this show as we go along, based on what I think feels right. So that's just an obscure reference that I Frank Caliendo'd you this morning.
I think it to myself every day. So
Or whatever.
it's familiar to me.
Wow, it hurts.
Fester's over here just
all
shaking
three
his
of you.
head.
Yes, all three of you.
I wish I was that talented.
Fester also told me during the break that there was a bit of a cluster F for the Super Bowl egg test last week. And,
Oh no, what happened?
oh, you don't know the story?
No, I stayed away from it because I knew it was going to fall apart.
Okay, did you not watch the 20-minute clip of the Super Bowl egg test challenge either?
I
MJ didn't watch it 'cause he's-
saw the 20-minute thing, and I was like,
I didn't watch it because I had like very
All right.
poor internet connectivity. I could get emails, I could cruise some websites, but streaming video on this remote island that I was on, streaming video was not really a technological possibility on a regular basis. So yeah, I did not see you spent 20 minutes on the air on Friday morning with the Super Bowl egg test.
I was thinking more like 2 minutes.
What the hell did you and Roxanne do for 20 minutes?
Hot sports takes, baby.
Yeah, it was actually awful. I mean,
and you guys want me to let you do the whole show?
no,
4
we don't.
hours.
Never. That's never the case. Don't lie. Don't put out propaganda. I have no desire to be in the studio if you're not here. I will take a day off and get paid. And
You came for the egg test.
Yeah, but I was here for just the egg test.
Well, I asked Fester earlier in the week. I asked Fester because a lot of people were nailing me. A lot of people, a lot of folks. I have no idea what you're saying, Andrew. Andrew, you do me a favor. You can't do like 9 sentences in my ear when we're live on the air. You just got to just hit me with
3-word blurps.
3-word blurps, man. I can't do a show and hear you do a whole dissertation. So Andrew, turn your mic on. What did you just say in my ear? Because I have no idea. We just rambled.
Oh, they were all stuck in traffic coming in for that egg test.
Who was stuck in
I
traffic?
forgot about that.
it was heavy traffic coming in the morning.
Andrew, could you please justify what you're saying? Explain what you just said.
Oh, when we were getting ready for the egg test, nobody was in on time because there was a bad backup on the Howard Frankenstein.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what happened to me.
that's
So it was
what-
just another part of the story of things not going right for the egg test.
Hold on a sec. So Fester and Roxanne were late coming in for the egg test, or the listeners were stuck in traffic?
All of us.
The listeners.
Everybody, even the cameraman was late.
God damn it, Andrew.
What's Fester?
Why are you cursing?
What was that?
What are you
What
saying?
are you doing? You're
Andrew,
so grumpy.
Andrew,
today.
I love you, Andrew. Sit back there, press the buttons, man. Oh my God.
Fester's,
Oh my God.
Fester's,
What a jerk.
Fester, you're visibly upset right now. What is going on? I have no idea.
What's the matter with you?
I got back from Indonesia at 6 a.m. yesterday morning.
Nobody remembers what happened last week.
I have
I
no...
mean, let's just forget the whole thing.
All right. Anyway, so later on, Fester's going to tell us about the cluster.
Oh my God.
And Andrew will tell us about traffic from last week.
Yes, Fester.
I don't want to say it. No, never mind. When we talk about the microwave, you know what? I've gotten away with it, right? So
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
What?
He did something naughty.
well,
What?
What are you trying to say?
I don't know. I think Andrew knocked down. What's the wall you knocked down, Froggy? The what wall? You knocked down the
Relativity?
the fourth wall.
All right, hold on.
fifth wall.
Guy, listen, I gotta take a break here.
All right.
Later on in the 7:00 hour, sometime after 7:30, I want to hear the whole Super Bowl egg test cluster frig, which Fester apparently was hit with a curveball just before the egg test. I want to hear all the details. And of course, ultimately, the egg test was correct. The Super Bowl MJ Morning Show egg test were the originators of that. It has been ripped off and copied by countless morning shows across the country. We first did this back in the early 90s, and we've been ripped off nationwide. You know how many morning shows have stolen the egg test from us? Anyway, 100% accurate again this year, predicting a Chiefs win when it looked like the 49ers, who were leading, 10-0 in the second quarter, it looked like the 49ers were going to cruise to a victory.
I wasn't worried at all.
And the egg test predicted again perfectly that the Chiefs were going to win the Super Bowl, but apparently there's a whole backstory to the egg test, which we'll get later on. Early morons in the news next here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Stand by. Hey. Morons in the news, 641 MJ Morning Show. You like that edit in there, Froggy? You went, ugh.
Oh, you heard me?
I did.
I thought it was a mediocre edit at best.
Yeah, listen,
you should rework it. You get somebody else to do it for you.
The best.
I didn't think you heard me go, ugh.
I did. I heard you go,
Sorry.
Early Morons in the news on the MJ Morning Show here at Q105. Hey, listen to this bozo here in Florida. And, of course, the overwhelming number of morons in the news stories just inherently are local stories or just Florida in general stories. And I'm not going to disappoint. Here's another one. The owner of a Florida paving company noticed what he thought were a whole bunch of fraudulent charges on the company credit card. A truck driver for this Florida paving company is accused of using the company credit card to buy tens of thousands of dollars worth of...
Oh, God.
Anybody want to take a guess here? Go on, you guys.
Oh, it could be anything.
Take a guess. What do you think?
Fishing rods. It could be anything in the world.
Why is everything fishing with you?
I mean, you asked anything.
I mean,
Drug dealers don't take credit cards these days, do they?
Did you say drug dealers?
Yeah. Do they take credit cards? Do they have like a Venmo?
yeah, they have one of those little spot machines.
Little squares?
Yeah, square.
Yeah.
Does what he bought make any kind of noise?
No.
No. Okay, then that
All right,
cancels my
Obviously,
guess.
it's dead.
Let me just
No.
cut the.
Roxanne. You didn't buy devices, Roxanne.
The idiot bought tens of thousands of dollars worth of lottery tickets.
What an idiot. Well,
Dude, that's what I would buy.
What it was like trying to hide it? Trying to hide. First of all, I thought you couldn't buy lottery tickets with credit cards.
That's why I didn't guess
Yeah.
lottery tickets.
Yeah.
I thought you had to have cash.
A truck driver for a Florida paving company accused of using the company credit card to buy tens of thousands of dollars worth of lottery tickets. The owner of All Phase Paving was checking the Chase bank statements for the company accounts when they noticed what they thought were fraudulent charges. According to an affidavit from the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, the owner said that 3 people had been given credit cards that were connected to the company's account. When he checked the card number for one of the company's truck drivers, 47-year-old Clearwater dude, he saw the charges at multiple convenience stores. The card was only intended for materials and for gas. The owner told deputies, so he pulled up the truck driver's vehicle tracking information. The owner saw the truck driver stopped at the same convenience stores where the company credit card was used. A total of $31,693.08 spent on the company credit card at those locations. The owner told Pinellas County deputies that he confronted the truck driver. The driver said he used the card to make a couple of $1,000s worth of purchases for lottery tickets. But again, explain it to me. I thought, and who said, Andrew gave me a look, and I thought the same thing, that I thought that for lottery purchases, you had to use cash.
So I found an article from NerdWallet,
Yeah.
and it says, can you buy lottery tickets with a credit card? And apparently there's 23 states, of which Florida is not on this list.
Yeah.
And this is a couple of years old, but I can't imagine it's changed in the last few years.
One store manager told deputies the truck driver regularly came into the store and bought scratch-off lottery tickets while driving the company truck. The owner told deputies that he was not reimbursed by his bank, and it was a financial loss. The truck driver, charged with a scheme to defraud for $20,000 to $50,000, was taken into custody last week, according to the arrest affidavit. So, again, how do you buy? Does anyone, folks, fire up the phones?
Was it a debit card?
It says company credit card.
I mean, a debit card and
This
credit
is-
card sometimes
this
are
is-
interchangeable terms.
This is a Pinellas County Sheriff's Office arrest.
I have an important question.
Let me give out the phone number first. Folks, set us straight here, because I always thought that you could not buy lottery tickets with a credit card. And here this guy's is accused of spending over $30,000 to buy scratchers with the company credit card. If anyone can set our butts straight on this, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Yes, Froggy.
Is the David a person in affidavit?
What the?
Is that like named after a famous David?
Dude, it's not affidavit. It's affidavit.
Well, why do you say David then?
I didn't say affidavit. I said affidavit.
Okay, then I guess it wasn't that
There's
big of a
no
question.
No, it's
It's interesting, though.
So-
I'm thinking it's named after a guy named David.
Of the thousands of times I've bought lottery tickets, I think I've always used cash.
I've never bought one, so I couldn't tell you, but I know there's people in front of me that buy it, and I want to murder them because
Yeah.
it takes so long.
affidavit, Froggy, is AFFIDAVIT, not DAVID.
That makes more sense
No,
now.
it-
Now, who is this David guy?
What
It's
did he do?
after David.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. Look at it. Every single line is ringing. Every line is Bobby in Brooksville. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Bobby.
Good morning.
Hey, Bobby. Welcome. Go
Hi,
ahead,
Bobby.
I was just saying that you can buy them with a debit card, but not a credit card.
See, he had a
There
company
you go.
debit card that went right into his bank account.
But it says checking with the Chase Bank statement, so it must have been a Chase Bank. Like, listen, I on my credit union account, I have a debit/Visa card, so it will debit your account, but it's also a Visa card as well.
I think
So,
all
Right.
all right.
I think all debit cards have a Visa or MasterCard logo on it.
I didn't even know that you could use a debit card to buy lottery tickets. Bobby, thanks for the call. Let me grab Kevin. Kevin is a truck driver up in the village. Oh, Kevin, are you the village's news delivery guy?
Yes, I am.
All right, dude, haven't heard from you in a while. All right, so are you going to concur with the previous caller or what?
Yeah, the way our credit card on our trucks works, it's kind of a debit/credit card because we have to enter our truck driver number in, kind of as a PIN and the odometer. So it's a debit/credit card.
Yeah, so you can buy lottery tickets if you want.
I imagine you can, because you can go into the counter and get things if we need to, because we got to buy DEF for the truck. Or
Hold on, this isn't Kevin. This isn't a guessing game, all right? I imagine you can. We can guess. We asked if you knew.
Fester, we can do it.
Okay, that's what you used it the first time.
Right, don't jump down our listener Kevin's face.
Kevin over here with his big rig dropping off papers saying, "Hey, I guess you can."
Leave our listeners alone, Fester. You're like slamming the guy.
Shot out of a miserable cannon today.
We can have a stand one of these times soon.
Kevin, thanks for
Did you hear Kevin?
Kevin, thanks for listening, buddy.
I heard you.
All right, buddy. Every day.
Sorry for Fester's
Honesty,
abusive behavior.
correct observation. Sorry about all of that.
Pam's and Brandon. Look, every line blew up here. Pam, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, this is Pam. I just wanted to let you know that I do have a company credit card, and you do have a PIN number just like what he just said. Was it Kevin that just called?
Yeah.
It's a flash type, but it is a credit card. Now, I've never purchased lotto tickets with it, but I do know that you can use it as also a debit, but it's considered a credit card.
Got you loud and clear. Thank you, Pam. All right, one more. Francine in St. Pete. Francine, MJ Morning Show. Welcome. Go.
Good morning. Yeah, I have used my credit card to get lotto tickets and scratch offs without using my PIN. I've been able to bypass my PIN and still get them here in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Wow. Thank you, Francine. Thanks for listening and calling in.
Yes.
So there we go.
Weird.
I mean, how long did this guy think he could get away with buying 31 grand in lottery scratchers and use the Asphalt Paving Company's company credit card?
Until he won the lotto
and then pay it
just
back.
retired. Yeah.
He had the credit card to fill up the company truck with gas, not to buy. I mean, seriously, how does somebody think that at some point they're not going to notice a $31,000 discrepancy?
You'd have to have a criminal mind. That's Fester.
That's why we call it Morons of the News, folks, on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. 6:50, 7 o'clock hour straight ahead, of course. Our hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ Morning Show coming up in just a bit. I've got a very fascinating little incident that happened while I was on vacation with Chloe in Indonesia. I got to tell that story coming up. A ton of videos that I shot on my Instagram. I want to talk about a few of those. A busy program, folks. You don't want to miss 1 minute of the show today. I'm telling you. Listen all the way to the end, close to 10 o'clock today. Or, of course, the whole program you can watch back on MJTV, or you can listen to the podcast later on. Many ways to listen to the entire morning show, but I prefer if you listen to the whole damn thing live every day off your radio. That would be the most preferable choice for me personally. For a couple of reasons. All right, 6:51 at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Hey, I saw the cake girl. 7:01 at the MJ Morning Show, MJ and the crew here on a Monday. And yeah, we are back from a little vacation hiatus. I am back from Indonesia. For those that did not follow my trip, I'll talk about some videos later on, but I always recommend that you follow my Instagram. I gave up on Twitter and X. I'm done with that. And there's a crazy story. Did you see? There's a story that came out last week, and I was, checking news. I was still keeping up with what the hell was going on for the most part. But there's, I guess, a book is coming out, or a book just came out, or some information that Elon Musk bought Twitter just to shut down that college kid here in Florida that was tracking his private flights.
Really?
Yeah. Fester, open up a new window and search it out. I saw it. I meant to print out the story, but I didn't get it right. I mean, how ridiculous is that? You realize what Elon Musk paid $44 billion for Twitter and has systematically destroyed the company. And Twitter is now worth a fraction of what he paid for it, changed it to X, destroyed, over a decade of branding with Twitter. I mean, just wrecked the whole damn thing.
But he obviously accomplished what he wanted to because the kid can't track him anymore, right?
Right. So, Fester, type in, see if you can find it. Hey, Andrew, do me a favor. See if you can find this story. You're better at searching than Fester. Fester's not a good searcher. Yeah. But I'm telling you.
No good search me.
And the kid is a college dude from Florida. And he had that account on Twitter that was tracking Elon Musk's private plane flights. And also, there was something else that popped up with that kid that, Taylor Swift's lawyers. Seriously, listen to this. Taylor Swift's lawyers have threatened the same college kid for tracking her private jet. And they're calling it stalking. So think about this for a second. That this is all publicly available data. Unless you block the information, and it is possible to actually block the data that is publicly available from the FAA. So is that stalking? If somebody is utilizing publicly available information from the federal government to track an airplane flight, and you're keeping track of celebrities and their air travel. And you know what's come up with celebrities and air travel? A lot of hypocrisy has been exposed over the years because you'll have some celebrities talking about going green and climate change and CO2 emissions. And then it's been discovered that they've, gone on hundreds of private flights. That
Taylor Swift does that, right?
Well,
That's what we're talking about.
A lot of celebrities do that. So this same guy that was tracking Elon Musk also has been tracking Taylor Swift.
His name is Sweeney.
Yeah, Jack Sweeney.
Sweeney.
He's a kid. He's a student at UCF.
Yeah, he's a junior at the University of Central Florida. Provides social media updates on takeoffs and landings of celebrities, including also now Taylor Swift.
A creep.
And yeah.
Why is he a creep?
Well, yeah, if it's publicly available information, why? And I came out before I went on vacation to go scuba diving with Chloe in Indonesia. I came to Taylor Swift's defense about, her being stalked and that maniac up in New York that was arrested. And then 2 hours after some judge let him out, he was already dumpster diving in front of Taylor Swift's loft in Tribeca up in Lower Manhattan. I mean, I came out and I said flatly that, hey, Taylor Swift deserves not to be stalked by maniacs. However, if the jet data is available publicly, is that stalking? I don't think that is really stalking. And go to the top of the story here, Fester. Can Taylor Swift really sue the college student tracking her private jet? A legal expert weighs in on whether she could really win a lawsuit because that's what she's threatening. Taylor Swift's lawyers are threatening to sue this University of Central Florida student. But this goes back to the Elon Musk story, which, again, I wasn't even planning. How did I even get into this?
I'm not sure.
How did I wasn't.
because you were talking about how you do IG on your trip, but you don't really do Twitter X anymore.
Oh, yeah, okay, thank you. Sometimes we go off on a tangent and I forget how the hell we got there. But yeah, I abandoned X. I'm done with it, and I started like deleting some of the tweets. I think the last tweet on my account right now is from like 2019. I'm done with X. I don't use it anymore. I'm done. I mean, Elon Musk has absolutely destroyed the platform.
Oh, bite your tongue.
You
bite
defend
it hard.
Defend yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's
Elon
absolutely
Musk.
ridiculous, the lies that you're spouting out of your little mouth.
So Andrew just found the story for me.
Yeah.
Elon Musk bought Twitter after the kid refused to stop
All right.
tracking the flight, and the CEO of Twitter, what was the guy's name? Jack
Dorsey.
Jack Dorsey apparently also refused to shut down the kid's Twitter account that was tracking Elon Musk's private flight. So there's an upcoming book, Battle for the Bird. Get it? When Twitter had the bird, right?
Yeah.
So a book called Battle of the Bird says that Musk began his quest to buy Twitter after Twitter refused to shut down that kid's account at Elon Jet. Can you imagine?
So just buy stuff out of spite?
So can you imagine a $44 billion purchase of which Elon Musk has destroyed the platform? The claim is that it was just to shut down the kid from tracking his private jet?
So do you know what Elon originally offered this guy, this Jack Sweeney, to shut it down?
Yeah, like $50,000 or something.
$5,000.
Oh, it was it was some ridiculous
Yeah,
number.
that's an insult.
Yeah.
If Elon would have given him $5 million,
Right.
it would
Still
have
too
been
low.
nothing to him.
Yeah, guess what? And he could have saved $43,995,900. I mean, he could have saved a fortune. Just give the kid $5 million to go away. Offered him five. I knew it was some low number, but it was $5,000.
$5,000.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
He's turning into Dr. Evil, dude.
But can you imagine a spike purchase?
It's crazy.
What was the Larry David and Curb Your Enthusiasm? Was it last season where it was the Spite coffee shop? Remember that?
I haven't seen
I
that.
haven't seen last season.
He got into a fight. Well, the reason why I'm bringing it up is Curb Your Enthusiasm. You didn't see that he choked Elmo on the Today Show?
Oh, I saw that. That was great. Right next to Elmo's dad. He's like, what's going on, son?
Larry David, one of the Seinfeld creators, and, Curb Your Enthusiasm on HBO, he was promoting the upcoming final season of Curb Your Enthusiasm. So the first one dropped while the first episode of season 12, final season, came out while we were on vacation. And I caught up on that yesterday afternoon. And then Michelle and I watched episode 2 right after the Super Bowl last night, because season 12, episode 2 was last night, but it was on right in the middle of the damn Super Bowl. So I had the TiVo going, recorded, but you can also watch it on Max, but we watched it afterward. But promoting it, Larry David, he freaking choked Elmo on the Today Show. He's sitting on the set, and Elmo is like, behind the couch because you got to have the puppeteer,
Right.
Hidden by something.
Right.
And Larry goes over there and starts choking Elmo.
That's pretty great.
The dude knows how to stir up controversy. And it just seems that in real life, he's just like the character that he plays on the damn, TV show.
I think he's working in his own energy. Yeah.
It's funny that Elmo's dad was there because that's how we used Elmo and his dad to potty train our kids. Elmo.
What?
Elmo's potty
that book.
video.
That's a good book.
It's a great video.
I'm unaware of this.
And his dad is always like, listen, Elmo, when you wipe your booty, you got to do it like this.
Did you say when you whop your booty?
Wipe. Excuse me, I'm Italian. I'm taking offense to that.
That's a slur.
But after watching Elmo get choked, he goes, Larry, you're supposed to keep your hands to yourself. He's like, I know everybody else wanted to do it.
The point is, last season, I think it was, Larry David got into a fight with this coffee shop guy. and he opened up a competing coffee shop in the same shopping center right next to and it was like the Spite coffee shop.
That's awesome. That's an Elon move.
So
Yeah,
exactly, Elon Musk bought Twitter out of spite and like has destroyed the platform and has essentially destroyed tens and tens of billions of dollars in actual value of the company.
And he doesn't care.
All out of spite.
He should buy Temu next.
Right.
You should buy Sprite next.
But according to this,
Out of spite. By Sprite.
so Sprite spite?
Sprite.
Not my favorite drink.
Yes, your favorite drink.
Well,
Sprite.
the competition for Sprite now is that Starry.
Which had a pretty high-ranking Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah, Starry had I have not had, I don't drink a lot of soda. I drink like maybe one or two soda pops a year.
Just when you want to treat yourself, right?
But I have not have anyone tried Starry?
No, I'm a Sprite guy till death.
I'm glad you asked. I've actually had Starry in IV form. It's delicious. No, Starry's it's a good lemon lime soda.
No.
So you've had it?
Yeah,
no,
Pepsi
hold on.
makes it.
Starry, Pepsi makes it.
Pepsi makes it.
Because that replaced Sierra Mist, right?
Yes, Sierra Mist.
Sierra Mist went bye-bye.
It's a very hip name, Sierra Mist.
Sierra Mist.
All the kids were wanting a big bottle of
sounds
Sierra
like
Mist.
Sounds like a porn star, doesn't it?
Boom.
It does, kind of, yeah.
It's like a day shift
You do
stripper
picture,
name.
yeah, you picture some big boobs to go along with
Sierra
that.
Mist, come to the stage. Sierra Mist.
And now coming to the stage during the all-you-can-eat strip club lunch buffet, it's Sierra Mist, ladies and gentlemen.
She will quench your thirst.
Yeah, baby.
So Sierra Mist is it was rebranded, reformulated. I think it's a little sweeter now.
It's called Starry.
And it's called Starry.
Right.
Oh, I thought Poppy was the new drink.
Poppy had another soda commercial yesterday.
And that's just poppy seeds in a drink?
It's just opium.
It's opium, straight opium.
Poppy is a startup soft drink that I think some woman started. And doesn't it contain like probiotics? Isn't it a soda with natural flavors?
Oh, sounds awful.
No, it tastes like regular. Hey,
I saw the commercial. I don't think they mentioned probiotics.
maybe I'm wrong.
They mentioned just all natural flavors and none of the bad stuff.
Maybe that's some yogurt that commercial.
Activia.
No, hold on. Andrew says, "Hey, Andrew, what did you,
Probiotic?
hold on,
Yeah.
Andrew, what did you just say?"
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
I
let's
thought
go.
that Poppy drink also has some kind of probiotics in the soda
See.
as well.
Yeah, be gut happy, be gut healthy. Well, you can't talk about your gut without talking about probiotics, so it must.
Is it say it on this? It says it on the
I'm
Poppy.
getting to it. That's their slogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So, Poppy.
Yes, it does. It does. It's got apple cider
has-
vinegar.
I'm sorry. It has.
Vinegar?
It says prebiotics.
Prebiotics.
So are prebiotics the same as probiotics?
I mean,
the pre is before your meal, and is that what it is? The difference.
Prebiotics are a special type of fiber that can act as food for healthy bacteria in your gut.
Oh, God.
Each can of Poppy includes agave inulin, a prebiotic and natural sweetener extracted from the agave tequila plant.
You were close.
So because
Yeah.
they use a natural sweetener, they say we use a prebiotic.
Anyway, but this Poppy is coming on strong, and they spent $6 million. How much was the Super Bowl ad this year? What, probably $5.5–6 million
Probably like 5,000
no, it's like. See what the ad was this year. All right, 7:15 at the MJ Morning Show. I don't want to get too late here.
Roughly 7 million.
Oh, wow. Almost $7 million for a 30-second commercial. All right, we got to get into the ads. We'll take some phone calls. What was your favorite spot? I thought there were a couple of standout spots. Also, the incident with Chloe in Indonesia. Wait till you hear this. After Michelle threatened me, Michelle's like, you bring Chloe back safely or else. All right. And of course, I did return safely with Chloe, but we had a little incident in Indonesia, which I'll talk about coming up. We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. So we're back here in minutes on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Oh boy, it looks like it expired at midnight. Oh my God, talk about something just slipping through your hands. The Super Bowl egg test cluster, which Fester is going to fill us in on momentarily, and the little situation with Chloe while we were in Indonesia after Michelle threatened me. Oh my God, did I go into panic mode? This is some family dirt that I've got to bring up, and I'm going to bring it up in a few minutes, folks. Keep listening. Also, speaking of family dirt, Roxanne, you're claiming that your husband, Dig Dug, plagiarized you?
Yeah, he did. He really did. Yeah. It's a long story. Are we going to talk about that today or save it for...
Okay. I'm intrigued by this. Roxanne accusing Dig Dug her husband of plagiarizing her. And this is from your new book?
Yeah, I have proof.
So he ripped off something from your book and tried to pass it off as his own work?
Yes.
What?
As a real estate MLS description.
What?
Sue his ass.
All right, hey, we'll get into all that coming up in just a bit. So everything I just mentioned is coming up, plus more, as we're launching an hour and 20 minutes of Nonstop MJ right now at 7:26 here on the MJ Morning Show. Super Bowl 58 last night. Started out as kind of a low-scoring, dull-ass game and then turned into overtime. And how many overtimes have there been in the? It's not a lot, right? What are you saying? Two?
Yeah, the first one was Tom Brady when he beat the Atlanta Falcons.
Right.
Was that 2017-ish?
Greatest comeback ever, as far as I'm concerned.
And that was Patriots.
Yeah, man, the greatest ever, man.
It was a great game.
Yeah.
Super Bowl 51, and then yesterday.
So only 2 overtime Super Bowls. And, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs beat the San Francisco 49ers, man. They've gotten close so many times. I mean, listen, poor John Lynch. John Lynch.
I feel so bad for him.
Well, John Lynch.
Listen, John Lynch is a nice guy. You know what? I first met John Lynch in his early days of the Buccaneers when I moved to Tampa, when I was hired by the Power Pig. I think I told this story in the past. I was hired by the Power Pig in January of 1994. Came over from West Palm Beach. And we started the MJ and BJ Morning Show on February 7th of 1994. Do you know, while I was on vacation, while I was scuba diving in Indonesia with Chloe, do you know that several people actually sent me notes congratulating me on 30 years of the MJ Morning Show in various forms?
That's so nice.
Wow.
I mean, really, it was 30 years ago on February 7th, just last week, that I first started morning radio here in Tampa. So Michelle and I first rented a place on Bayshore. And the old Bigelow Mansion at Bayshore and Gandy, it's that big old house. They use it for events now. Behind there are condos. It's called 4807 Bayshore. And that's where Michelle and I first moved when we moved to Tampa. It was really convenient because, you know, the radio station was on Gandy and Dale Mabry right down the street. So I was only like a minute and a half to work every morning. So we first rented there. And my neighbor was Demetrius DeBose. Demetrius, may he rest in peace. He was shot by San Diego police after wandering into somebody else's place, liquored up one night. And Demetrius was a really cool guy, but he was a brand new Buccaneer, as well as John Lynch back in 94. And John Lynch and Demetrius were good buddies, and John Lynch was always over at Demetrius's place, right next to my condo at 4807 Bayshore. So that's how I first met John Lynch. We had cookouts and stuff, and he was just a nice guy. Really quiet, actually, back then. And, of course, John Lynch went on to be a stellar, Pro Bowler, Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And now John Lynch, of course, is the general manager of the San Francisco 49ers. But John Lynch is a really nice guy. And, he's one of the first people that I met when I moved to Tampa back in 1994.
I was pretty good friends with John and his wife, Linda. They're awesome people.
Met Linda, too.
Yeah.
They were together when we moved here, just like Michelle and I were together. It was, just a storybook romance, ladies and gentlemen.
I met John once at the Britton Plaza Publix, and I was like standing in front of the magazine rack, and he's like, "Hey, fat boy, step aside."
No, you stop it. That's not true. That is not true.
Hey, how about you work in a salad?
That's not
That's
true.
what he said to me. He's John Lynch said that to me.
That's not
Everybody
true.
thinks he's so nice, but that's what he said to you.
That's what he said to me.
25.
That's my truth.
25-22 overtime win. Certainly an exciting finish. Chiefs over the 49ers. Chiefs now, back-to-back? And third Super Bowl win in, 5 years?
Yeah. This is, I guess, the new dynasty.
Well, also,
you think?
Is this also a true fact that it's the first back-to-back win in the Super Bowl in 20 years?
Wow. Really?
It's been like almost 2 decades since we've had back-to-back Super Bowl wins with the same team.
Yeah, the Patriots had two back-to-back.
Yeah, I was.
One back-to-back.
I wasn't. Two back-to-back. Okay, gotcha.
It's Mahomes' third MVP.
Did you guys kind of get this feeling about Mahomes when you were watching the game? Like, okay, he's playing at a very mediocre level for him.
It's
for
not
most
easy
of it.
being Patrick Mahomes.
And then all of a sudden it was like someone told him, hey, you have to win this game. And he was like, oh, that's easy. Okay, boom, boom, boom.
Well, listen, remember they lost in Vegas also. I think it was Christmas Day. They got beaten by the Raiders in Vegas and then kind of poetically came back in the same exact stadium at Allegiant in Vegas to win the Super Bowl last night. But they got clocked by the Raiders. That was an ugly loss. I think it was Christmas Day when the Raiders beat the Chiefs. Yes, Andrew.
I think it was 10-0 lead San Francisco had the last time they played KC in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, going into halftime, KC was San Francisco was ahead.
Wow.
A
Hey,
couple years ago, right?
What about Travis Kelce like ramming Andy Reid, the coach of the Chiefs? Man, that was, and Reid was like stunned.
Yeah, and then after the game, he wasn't mad at him. I mean, they won, so why would he be? I wonder if he would have been mad at him after the game if they
Elderly
lost.
abuse. I hope they arrest him.
Seriously, because Andy Reid is like 80. Listen.
The fumble. He comes over to Andy. He goes, keep me in. What happened is, on the fumble, he was not in the game. Noah Gray went in, and he had to block.
And that was the play-by-play call. That was Romo. And talking, when they were replaying, Kelce just, I mean, like he was slam dancing back at some punk club in 1981. I mean, like slam. Keep me in the game, coach.
So Andy Reid is not 80.
How old is he?
65.
He's 65.
Yeah, but you could bump into his colostomy bag.
Pop it.
It turned to the Cleveland Browns real fast.
Oh. Yeah.
Andy Reid said after the game that he gave me a hug. He just wants to be on the field and wants to play. There's nobody I get better than I get him.
Wow.
First down and goal to go. Play action fake. Right side throw. Touchdown! Kansas City! McCall Hardman with the catch on the right side. A 3-yard touchdown pass in overtime. Kansas City wins the game. 25-22. And the Chiefs Kingdom has started its own history class.
I mean, pretty amazing.
Is that the radio call?
They won at the end, like a last-second deal. I didn't watch.
They won it in overtime.
Hold on. You did not watch?
I watched.
Hold on, Froggy.
I watched Usher.
Hold on, Froggy. You did not watch the end of the game in overtime? And also,
I thought I accidentally started watching it on Nickelodeon, and it was like the SpongeBob Super Bowl, and they were. I'm like, what's happening? I'm like, this sucks, and I took it off. I thought it was the game.
You're
I'm like,
crazy, dude. We watched like the whole second quarter on Nickelodeon, and it was awesome.
Oh,
SpongeBob
dude.
and Patrick are calling plays. Back goes Mahomes.
That was weird. I was like, what is going on?
but remember, in overtime, the 49ers scored first with 3 points.
Right.
So 49ers scored first, but with the new rules, you had to win with a touchdown.
No, each team got the ball.
Right. So each team.
gets
So
if-
the new
if-
rules, each team gets the ball.
Yeah,
It's a
the new
possession.
rules
So if-
screwed the 49ers, yeah.
So if the
Essentially.
49ers would have scored a touchdown, the Chiefs still would have gotten the ball.
And they would have
Yes.
scored
Right.
a touchdown, then it would have
Right.
kept the
So,
game would have
right,
kept playing.
right. So the 49ers, they scored the field goal, 3 points, but then obviously the Chiefs got their turn. And how about the final play? Was it Hardman? And I think his story was he was
Picked up midseason.
he was let go by the Jets and
Yeah.
then picked up by the 49ers, and then suddenly he has this Super Bowl winning catch. And you saw
You mean Chiefs, yeah.
he was going left, and he fooled the 49ers defense. So he runs left and then quickly cuts back to the right and was just wide open on the right side of the end zone for the win. Now,
Wow, a real Rudy moment.
the Super Bowl egg test, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
And then coming up in moments, we got to talk about the Super Bowl commercials. I might push that back because I got to talk about Chloe and the little incident in Indonesia. Chloe and the Indonesia story after Michelle told me if she doesn't come back safely, you're dead. So Michelle told me this at the airport.
She does look like Natalie Holloway, sort of.
All right, Froggy, that was uncalled for.
What? I mean, you're saying in a go away, far away place like that? Never mind. I'm not making a good point.
Yeah, it's not a great point.
Anyway,
You know what I mean.
I don't know that.
Well, I mean, does it have to do with sex slavery? Is that what Michelle was upset about?
Roxanne, now that's outrageous.
You're bringing up sex slavery.
Well,
I got Froggy bringing up Natalie Holloway.
That's what I worry about when I travel with young, beautiful,
All right.
young ladies.
When Michelle dropped us off at the airport after the morning show on Friday, January 26th.
What are you, the chaperone of these young, beautiful ladies?
Michelle drops us off at the airport, and the last thing she says to me, Michelle says, bring her back safely or else. And of course, it's my daughter. Of course, I'm looking after Chloe, but there's a story, and I'll tell the story in just a few minutes. You want to hear this. First, though, Super Bowl egg test, which was 100% right. Once again, the Super Bowl egg test pulls it off. And I had asked Fester to coordinate, actually come in and do the Super Bowl egg test on Friday. And this is what it sounded like Friday during the best of. We had a fresh segment with the Super Bowl egg test, and this is what happened.
Come on, baby.
Come on.
Come on,
Somebody-
baby. No
somebody
sign
needs
yet.
to
You can just
know.
hear little slight cracks in the egg. We are at 1 minute right now.
Okay. Oh, I heard something.
Yep. They're cooking. They got to be close. Oh,
Grab it.
I don't hear anything.
oh my God. Look at that. What a disaster.
Oh, the 49ers. Holy cow.
The 49ers what?
They just blew up.
So that means the winner of Super Bowl 58 is going to be
KC, baby.
the Kansas City Chiefs have won the MJ Morning Show Super Bowl egg test.
And of course, the Super Bowl egg test is simple. We take 2 eggs, we put the logo for each team on the eggs, we start the microwave, and whichever egg explodes first, that's the loser. The surviving egg's the winner. And Friday's egg test with Fester and Roxanne. Froggy couldn't be bothered to come in.
No.
MJ, don't you think the sound of that egg was good?
All right, the sound of the egg, we got a couple of issues here.
Oh, of course we do.
We have a couple of issues. First of all, you could barely hear the egg explode.
I should have had the egg
Okay,
mic'd a little
listen,
better.
listen. Person who couldn't get off their boat to come in,
Yeah.
and person
Wait,
who
what?
was in Indonesia has no right to criticize the two people
no,
with
no,
dedication.
that is false.
I said it sounds great.
That is not true. I said to Fester, because we played that audio right at the beginning of the show at 6 a.m. this morning. The fact that the Super Bowl egg test once again was accurate and predicted the Super Bowl. And listen, it looked like the 49ers were going to win. And then the Chiefs came back late in the game. Chiefs won in overtime, as everyone knows at this point. But the Super Bowl egg test, how many people were saying, Super Bowl egg test is going to be wrong. 49ers are going to win it. And look what happened. The Chiefs came back and won in OT. The Super Bowl egg test was right. But listen to this. I said to Fester earlier this morning after I played that audio bite, it's like, dude, why is the egg explosion so muted? Why is it so low? They put the microwave oven in the back, on the credenza in the back of the room.
Who cares?
Fester, because we always put the microwave on the counter with a microphone right on top of the microwave oven.
MJ, if I was here, I would have put it right here.
That's
and I would
where,
have mic'd.
that's where we've had it every year that we put the Fester.
Boy, if Froggy would have just come in, that would have saved the day.
That's what I would have done.
Fester.
Guys, I'm so sorry for Zoom call.
Why did you put the microwave in the back of the room instead of near a microphone? We're a radio morning show. Why? I'm just curious.
Why?
I tell you why. I will tell you why. I was here.
Tell me why.
Because
I don't like Mondays. Tell me why. Tell me.
This is why I don't
we
like Mondays.
had a professional photographer in here, videographer, and he was shooting from this side of the room.
What is it?
Because we couldn't.
That's
We
a good
needed.
point.
We needed to see the microwave and the action inside the microwave.
That's not
and,
the defense I'm going with.
Well,
by the way.
pick another
Roxanne,
then.
that makes no sense
Listen.
whatsoever.
Well, I'm just grasping at straws. I don't know. Fester's an idiot. That's why.
That's the reason. Thank you, Roxanne.
Fester is an idiot.
Listen,
That's more the answer.
Yeah, that's
we didn't
all right.
mic it as well as we could
All
have.
right,
Okay,
finally,
great.
Roxanne breaks out of her shell.
Yeah.
Like
She's
an
giving
egg.
Some crap-ass defense. Well, we had a professional photographer.
Trying to help you. You don't want my help? Okay, Fester's an idiot.
Yeah.
That's why we put it over there.
And Roxanne's an idiot for not mentioning it either.
Not Roxanne's
Now-
responsibility. Roxanne's responsibility is just to relax and talk.
What's up with your voice? I tell you, it sounds like you've been drinking whiskey at a club at 3 a.m.
It's
Who are
my
you,
new
Diane
voice.
Kroll?
Hold on. You should listen to the beginning of the Fester Roxanne Super Bowl Egg Challenge because the first thing we talk about is her voice sounding like she has glass in her throat.
All right, now, Fester, a couple of issues other than the fact that you didn't even place the microphone near the microwave.
Which is the biggest of them all.
All right, but there are other cluster issues that came up. What is the other issue? Apparently, there was a microwave problem.
I go to Walmart the night before to buy a microwave. Every year we buy a new microwave for the test.
Because you can go to Walmart and buy a microwave for what, $69.99 or something?
This was $70 on the button, right?
Look at that.
Hamilton Beach, you had a whole pallet full of them right there in the rack.
Right.
I even tried to take one that I thought was in the middle. I went down a row and pulled one out of the middle.
Listen to this.
It was
Fester goes to Walmart, buys a whole pallet of these things. So what, a couple of dozen microwaves on a pallet in the middle of the floor at Walmart, and you pick what appears to be one out of the middle of the stack on the pallet?
Yeah.
You bring the microwave back to the studio. And, you have video of this?
Well, I talked about it during the 20 minutes that we did the Super Bowl egg test. I brought all of this up.
All right, here we go.
Out of the box yet. Well, I bring it to the radio station. Hold on. I put it up here. I bring it to the radio station. And look at this. The whole front glass.
Oh, my God.
Shattered out.
Right. Okay.
Oh, my God.
But
I know.
But listen.
So,
let me stop
George
this. Yes.
is in here with me.
He had to have Pat George tell him not to use it. He was going to use it like that. I'm serious.
It comes out. I'm like, oh crap! And Pat's in here, and he always has to chirp in about everything.
He was going to use it.
And I'm like, all right, well, I guess we're going with a broken. He goes, hey man, you can't use a broken microwave. It'll put radiation in the whole studio. It'll kill you.
You bought a Hamilton Beach microwave from Walmart. You pull the box from the middle of the pallet. You open the box and the microwave for the Super Bowl egg test. I'm looking at the video right now, folks. Hey, Andrew, do me a favor. Put this video, put all of the egg test videos up on.
We've been around for a while. They've been up.
I know, but did we put it up on As Mentioned or As Heard on the MJ Morning Show?
On the webpage, it's on the Facebook page, it's on the Instagram page.
So, Andrew, the video's on As Heard on the MJ Morning Show? Andrew?
Will be momentarily.
Oh, see, it is not.
Nobody goes to the website.
Not, all right.
They go to our socials.
All right, or you can go to our socials. This is unbelievable. Fester takes the microwave out of the box. So you didn't think of opening up the box prior to the egg? You wouldn't open up the box to take a look at it?
Who opens up a microwave box at a store? I've never done. If I bought an appliance at a store, I don't think of opening up a box in the middle of Walmart.
But that is insane. That is absolutely crazy that you take the brand new microwave out of the box. The whole front door glass is smashed like some maniac took a brick and smashed it.
So now I'm screwed. And Pat's like, hey, drive down to the Goodwill and go buy one for $8. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to leave and go to the Goodwill. We have two microwaves here in our little kitchenette. One of them is unplugged that they use for like the home show or when like clients or chefs come in.
You grab that to destroy with the Super Bowl egg test?
The one we ended up using. And, so it was a little bit of a disaster. It was kind of a rush. It was a rush job at best. And it had like a 2-foot cord on it. And there was a plug right behind that little buffet you have, so that's why I put it there.
Guess what? We have extension cords,
I know.
dude.
I didn't want to plug it into anything connected to the board because I don't want to, overload the system and knock us off the air.
Let me move on to the Chloe story from Indonesia, and then we'll get into the Super Bowl commercials toward the end of this segment. So we'll do it during our long hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ Morning Show, which we're in the process of right now and every morning at this time. No commercials, no music. We go for an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ.
It said auto ship.
Somebody cursed?
It auto ship from Chewy. We had the internet pod up and it played a commercial. That's what it was.
The internet pod was still up. So
the first word is auto ship, which doesn't sound.
So I got to get to the Chloe story, but we'll get into the Super Bowl commercials. We'll take some phone calls on what you liked, what the top commercials were. Is USA Today not giving the score anymore for the Adometer?
I'm on their site looking at the rankings, and it just has some of the more popular ones, but it doesn't say number 1, 2, or 3. I found a list from the New York Times where they rank them.
All right.
But we'll figure it out.
Anyway, so we'll get into the commercials a little later on. First of all, the Chloe situation. Now, folks, I would highly recommend that you follow me on Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio. During our vacation, Chloe and I, we flew off to Indonesia. We left after the show on Friday, the 26th of January. Spent about 2 weeks over in Indonesia to go scuba diving in a scuba mecca called Raja Ampat. And it's one of the best scuba destinations on the planet. The opportunity came up back around Thanksgiving, and Chloe was graduating college. I'm like, you know what? Graduation trip, bucket list scuba location. The timing I thought was fairly decent. So that's why Chloe and I went to Indonesia. Posted a number of really amazing underwater videos. I've got, almost a couple of hours of underwater video because I spent, if you add up all the time I was underwater for nearly 2 full days.
Wow.
Yeah. I did an unbelievable number of dives. I did 42 dives in 11 dive days. I did 4 dives a day, 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon.
How wrinkly was your skin, dude, being in water for 2 days?
Skin was fine. If you want to see some awesome pictures of Chloe and me, if you want to see what some of these small islands in Indonesia, in Raja Ampat look like, their houses, some of the people, little kids. If you want to see an amazing manta ray, humongous manta ray going by, if you want to see an octopus changing colors out of its hole, I've got a ton of phenomenal videos. Chloe is did you see the picture of her? Raja Ampat is famous for like those little islands, the small little islands with all the trees on them. They look like little island balls in the water. Chloe is pictured in one of these photos that I took, and she's just in the water on her back, floating with one of these little tree islands in the background. Anyway, a ton of great stuff. Videos, pictures on my Instagram feed, Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio. Our flight on Saturday from Jakarta, Indonesia. We were on 3 different airlines and 4 airplanes. Coming back, same deal. So coming back, we left Saturday morning, and we got our day back. When we went, we lost a day. Saturday, the 27th of January, for us, disappeared, just gone. And then, of course, that was going across the international date line. Coming back, we got the day back. So we left on Friday morning, or Friday afternoon, we left Raja Ampat, the island of Waisai. And we took a 2.5-hour ferry ride over to Sorong. Then from Sorong, Indonesia, we had to fly to Jakarta to Taipei, Taiwan, and then Taiwan back to Los Angeles International on late Saturday night. And then we caught the red eye at 11 p.m. Saturday night, and we arrived at Tampa International yesterday morning at 6 a.m. At Tampa International, we get off the plane. We were first off the plane, raced to the tram. Michelle was picking us up just after 6 a.m. yesterday morning. We get down to the blue airside where baggage is and pickup. Nobody there. Literally, there is not one car, not one person, not even the pesky dudes with the traffic vests on that are moving. You can't hang on for 2 seconds over there.
Keep going, no stopping.
All right. So there is nobody there. I'm standing in the middle of the pickup area where traffic would normally be, and it's like a ghost town. It's like we're in a Stephen King novel or something. There's nobody there. So the video of that creepy feeling, and I'm like screaming, hey, Chloe, there's no one here. And I'm like, tell Mom the place is jammed.
Dude, they had you on security, dude.
Yeah. So that video is on my Instagram right now. Also, our flight from Jakarta to Taipei, Taiwan was on the Lunar New Year, and the plane was empty. We're on a Boeing 777-300. We're on a 777-300, and this thing holds like 300 people. There were like 35 people on the airplane. The plane was virtually empty, and I walked the whole cabin of the airplane to show how empty this plane was. It was unbelievable. That video, again, on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. Certified MJ Radio on Instagram. Underwater videos, local pictures in Raja Ampat. Really amazing stuff. So take a look at all that on my Instagram. Check out the videos, Certified MJ Radio. Now, on to the Chloe story. And I'm expecting you guys to chime in.
We're expecting us to chime in as well.
Thank you, Fester.
All right.
we go to dinner at a local place. Now, we stayed at a place called Meridian Dive Adventures, or Meridian Adventure Dive. It was a really nice place. It was a nice resort. They had phenomenal fast boats. We were land-based. And a lot of people do liveaboards in Raja Ampat. We did land-based because they have these like 35-knot boats, these pontoon boats with twin Yamaha 254 strokes, and these things will haul. So we're able to get to all the famous places like Melissa's Garden and Cape Cree. We're able to get to all the famous Raja Ampat diving spots.
Well, you always do liverboards. Usually when you go on your dive trips, you do liverboards.
Yeah. So in Egypt, Red Sea, I did a liverboard. Maldives.
It's liverboard.
Live aboard.
No, it's liverboard.
When I took Julian to the Maldives, we were on a ship for a week. We did the live aboard. I've done numerous. I've done truck, Palau, Turks and Caicos on a live aboard where you live on the vessel. You have a cabin.
Say it again.
This was land-based, and it was fantastic, right? So the hotel restaurant was very good. But we decided to venture out. So we end up going with a bunch of the dive staff to a local place, and there are pictures of that place as well on my Instagram. And we go out with a whole group of folks from the resort to this restaurant off property, about a mile away.
How safe is this country?
I'm actually Googling right now, is Raja Ampat safe? And I have some news for you. It is safe, but where it sounds like you're venturing to is not safe. Continue.
Well, this is where the Chloe story comes in.
Continue.
This is where I freaked out. All right. Michelle is probably hearing this story for the first time right now.
Morning.
So she just got like a couple scanty details and doesn't really know the depth.
Chloe said she was going to tell Michelle, and I said, Chloe, I'm going to tell the story on the, first of all, I debated whether I wanted to tell the story, but I am going to tell the story. We're at dinner, and then a bunch of people show up and sit at another table, and we recognized there was somebody from the resort at the table with these other guys. Anyway, 3 other guys show up, and they go to another table, but then they join us at our table because one of the dive staff was with them, and they all sat at our large community table at this restaurant. And at the end of dinner, there are 3 other guys who I didn't know, but we were introduced. And in the little harbor where we left on the dive boats to go do our diving, we noticed there was this awesome, sailing vessel. I mean, a sailboat that was enormous, masts like 70 feet. I mean, really an expensive-looking sailing vessel. It had a home port of Amsterdam, and it turns out that 3 of the guys that joined us at our table were deckhands. And in the photo, the photo you're looking at right there, the photo you just had up at the restaurant.
Yep.
Right there. The 3 guys in the forefront, those are the deckhands from the boat.
Okay.
So the first guy on the right in the picture on my Instagram at the restaurant, the first guy on the right, at the end of dinner, we're all at this long community table. The guy on the right, and the crew was from Spain. There was a Spanish crew. And this one guy looked to be, mid to late 20s.
Oh, no.
At the end of dinner, says to Chloe, hey, you want to join me for a drink?
In front of Dad, he said that?
Right? I mean, and everyone, the group I was with, they were like, oh, man, that's a ballsy move.
Good for him.
Right in front of me, asks Chloe, hey, you want to go for a drink?
Did she say, I'd love to, and go back to this nice boat?
I said to Chloe, Chloe, you're pretty tired. You need to go to sleep.
No, I feel great, Dad.
So,
what a blocker.
Hang on. We go back to the hotel, and that's where I thought the drink was going to take place. There is a bar at the hotel. So Chloe agrees, and if it's at the hotel bar, it's 35 steps from the room at the hotel. The bar is right attached to the restaurant at the hotel, not the restaurant that we were off property at, We all went back to the hotel, and I'm thinking that Chloe's going to have a drink with this guy, this deckhand. By the way, the sailboat, it's a $20 million sailboat. I mean, it's a really...
You can't afford a motor with $20 million?
Well, the owner of the sailboat apparently was from Amsterdam, and he sold some kind of satellite internet company just prior to Elon Musk announcing Starlink. So the guy sold out at the right time, because Starlink's pretty much murdered all of the other satellite internet companies. So this guy apparently sold out for hundreds of millions of dollars, had a $20 million sailing vessel tied up in the harbor where we were diving, and we run into these crew guys. This guy, Mr. Ballsy, invites Chloe to have a drink right in front of me. I'm thinking it's at the hotel. So Chloe, I said, all right, what the heck? Right at the hotel, having a drink, no big deal. So Chloe, I thought, was going to the hotel bar, and I go up to my room, just put some stuff away, and I decide, I'm going to mosey on down to the hotel bar and just see how things are going. Guess what?
No Chloe.
Chloe is not at the hotel bar.
There.
I'm like, what the? And at this point, my heart starts pounding out of my chest. I'm like, my God. Michelle said to me at Tampa International, make sure nothing happens to her or else. Bring her home safely or you're dead. And here I'm going to the bar. There is no sign of Chloe. I'm like, what the hell? I immediately call her phone and I hear like a... Chloe gets on the back of a motor scooter with this guy, is driving on the dirt roads of Raja Ampat to some kind of a bar a couple of miles down the road to go to some local bar off property. I'm like, what the hell? So luckily, I call up Chloe, and I'm like, Chloe, where are you? Oh, we're going to a bar. I'm like, you've left the resort? Yes. I'm like, Chloe, get back here now. Get back here now.
She's like, you got to turn the scooter around. My dad wants me to come back.
So Chloe's on the back of the scooter, tapping the guy, apparently, stopping him and saying to him, my dad wants me to, and I can hear her. My dad says, I got to come back now. Got to come back now. And I'm panicking. I'm freaking out. We're in Indonesia. We're in a third world nation. I'm thinking Chloe is having a drink with this ballsy deckhand from this $20 million yacht at the hotel bar because the pier is right off the back of the hotel to go to the little marina where they were tied up. I'm like, all right, so she's going to have a drink right at the hotel. I'll go down to and she's gone. So then I call her. She's down the road on a freaking scooter going to some bar. And I'm like, like these horrible thoughts are going through my head. Roofies and foreign country and oh my God. So luckily she picked up the phone. I'm like, get back here now. I'm like, I must have sounded like a maniac because I'm freaking out. So
chill out, Todd. Calls.
God.
So he turns the scooter around, brings her back. And I'm standing in the hotel drive.
Of course
you are. Yeah, you are.
Waiting for her to come back.
How embarrassing.
Oh, man. She comes back, and I'm like, what are you thinking? I thought you were going to the hotel bar. She's like, I thought so, too. Well, then you say, no, I'm not getting on a scooter and going to a bar off property.
Oh, Dad, you're so ridiculous.
Oh, my God. This Generation Z is like driving me freaking crazy.
That's what we all did when we were in our 20s. We all did stupid stuff like that.
It sounds like the movie Cocktail. Did your friend almost overdose on champagne and pills?
Anyway, I'm sure nothing was going to happen, but there was no way that I was not going to, freak out. And I did. So he brings her back. And the guy was actually apologetic. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah. I'm like, dude, I thought you guys...
he had to see you the next however many days on the boat. He had to.
No. He wasn't. He's not on our boat.
He's a different boat. Oh.
He's a local.
No. He was on a sailing yacht from Amsterdam.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, my gosh.
They were tied up. They were tied up at our marina. We had nothing to do with them.
You know who he looks just like? He looks just like Jorn Vandersloot.
Oh my
God! Of all people.
Oh,
Yes,
really? The
yes.
Natalie Holloway sicko?
Wasn't he from Amsterdam too?
I think he was Dutch.
Yes.
Aruba
And he looks
has
just
a
like him. I
very-
just did a side-by-side comparison.
Oh, my God. Anyway.
You guys go through Kokomo?
So Chloe came back safely, but it gave me a freaking heart attack, man.
Why don't you be a better dad?
I was a good dad. I'm like, I even went down.
Why ever let her go have the drink? That was stupid.
Well, then I had a conversation with
With
her.
some local weirdo?
No, he was not. He was from
some
he's
deckhand who was going to skip the scene the next day.
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly.
Yeah, for real.
No, they were actually tied up there for a couple of months, actually.
You're
But-
crazy, dude.
No, I'm not crying. Listen, Chloe,
This is on you.
It's not on me. I thought she was going to the hotel bar for.
Yeah, that's great. Go to the hotel bar. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Anyway,
There's
so
rooms right upstairs.
anyway, so Chloe, I had a big conversation with her about saying no. No, I can't leave the property. My dad's gonna freak out. No, I can't. And she should have stuck. At the restaurant, she's yawning and she's like, I'm tired. I want to get back and go to bed. So I said to her, why didn't you decline the drink in the first place? Say, no, I'm really tired. Got to get up early to dive. So again, dealing with fatherly things, trying to be a dad, but I just got to teach these young kids to make better decisions.
I wonder what Michelle would think about this.
Yeah, she's just hearing about it for the first time. I think you should reevaluate your parenting for the last 21 years.
For real, that's what I'm saying.
You will be happy to know, MJ. I checked in on your old lady a couple of times, make sure she was all right.
What's your problem?
While her man was away.
Why?
Let me call Michelle on the bedside landline. See if Michelle's listening. At 8:02 on a Monday morning, back from vacation.
Hello.
Hello?
What?
Are you listening?
Yes. Why am I just not hearing about this?
I told Chloe to tell you.
Michelle, doesn't that sound like a good time to be riding the back of a moped with some deckhand from who the hell knows where in some third world country?
She would have been gone, and you would have been dead.
Yeah, you would have. You would
I
have.
don't think the deckhand's going to take her.
Listen, he's a deckhand. He actually was a nice guy.
What
but
did I say to you before you left?
I already said that. Bring her home or else. You said to me.
I said you let anything happen to her, and I will effing kill you.
That's true.
That's right.
True.
Good.
Yep.
So you can imagine that I am panicking when I go to the hotel bar to see if Chloe's there and she's gone. Now it's funny to you?
You panicking like that is funny.
Oh, my
Imagine
God.
you running around with a little beanie on your head, frantic, knowing that if I knew what was happening right at that moment, you didn't choose to call and tell me what was happening. So I know what was going through your head. You knew.
Listen, I was panicking just for being a father. I'm panicking that my daughter's not there. And then your words echo through my head, like, if you don't bring her back safely, I'm going to kill you, kill you, kill you, kill you, kill you, kill you, kill you. So that's echoing through my head. I'm like freaking out. I'm crapping my pants.
Wow.
That's not good in a wetsuit.
That's customary in Raja Ampad. That's like a formal greeting. Yes.
Panic, crap the pants. Crap the pants.
So Chloe is what, 22 now? Chloe's going to be 23.
Is she?
Chloe,
sure?
Chloe is studying for the LSAT now because she wants to attend law school.
Well,
but
loosely say.
but
she just came back from Roger's armpit.
Raja Ampad. So, Michelle, we still have to have a little chat with our Generation Z baby about certain things to do and not do, and making.
Did she have a helmet on?
You know what? Believe it or not, he put a helmet on her.
Oh, he's got headlights.
So he was not wearing a helmet on the motor scooter, but
gave her the helmet.
But gave her the helmet. Yes.
What a gentleman.
That is chivalry right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, he wanted to save her head so he could bash it in the way, Natalie Holloway's head.
Oh, Michelle, what are you saying?
I'm listening to Roxanne.
Oh, my God.
Damn, jeez.
Anyway, Michelle, I was so freaking scared. My heart was in my throat.
Welcome to fatherhood
Yeah.
at age 22.
All right.
All right, Michelle. So that's the crazy Chloe story from Raja Ampat.
So
Thanks for sharing with me after you returned. Not even like last night, like on the air.
I didn't even know you could drink there legally. Can you?
I think the drinking age there is 20.
yeah, I think the drinking age yours might be 4.
Hey, listen,
I mean,
go to Canada. Drinking age is, 19 in
Yeah,
Canada?
it's younger than
But
us.
Froggy, what's the drugging age?
Yeah,
Well,
right.
like when we go to Dubai, you can't have alcohol in Dubai.
Hey, let me tell you right now.
That's
Hey,
that's
hold
a
on.
different place.
Hang on. Listen to this. It's very clear. Any illegal drugs, like even marijuana, coke, heroin, in Indonesia, it's death penalty.
What?
Indonesia.
Illegal drugs in Indonesia, it's the death penalty.
Oh, maybe that's where they that's Singapore where they cane
Yeah,
you.
we'll grow it, but we're not going to do it.
All right, Michelle. Well, now you know the rest of the story.
Thanks, Paul Harvey.
All right. Good day.
Good day.
Page one.
All right.
I'll see you in a little bit.
She's not going to be happy with you.
Now, she sounded pretty jovial on the air.
Because the kids live.
Yeah.
But yes.
Am I going to get a rash of crap when I get home? I mean, it's not my fault. I mean, Chloe made a bad decision.
If anybody should get a rash from this situation, it's Chloe.
Oh
wait.
Are you calling Chloe?
Yeah, I'm calling Chloe's cell right now.
Is she? Where is Chloe now?
She's at home.
Okay, she's
here
safe in her bed.
She's in South Tampa in her bed.
Hi, this is Chloe. Sorry I couldn't get to.
Yeah.
All right.
So what do you think?
Let me call her back real quick, but she might be just fast asleep. Calling Chloe's cell one more time. Come on, Chloe, pick up.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. Good morning, Chloe.
Morning.
I guess you're not listening.
No.
Just told the story.
Are you dreaming about riding on the back of a moped with some deckhand in some third world country?
No.
Whoa.
How hot was he?
He was not ugly.
Just had Mom on the air. Mom was freaking out a little bit.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Color his teeth.
What's it going to take for you to make better decisions?
It wasn't that bad of a decision. He was fine. You just freaked out.
Yeah, I did freak out. You're on a little third world island in the middle of Indonesia, and you disappear from the hotel on the back of a motor scooter with some dude I don't know?
You had my location.
MJ turns into Liam Neeson.
Yeah. I have a very special set of skills. I can talk you to death.
I will find you, and I will tell you morons in the news.
I will catch you and tell you about my Instagram page until you want to shoot yourself.
Chloe, I just need better decisions out of you, okay?
Okay.
Why wouldn't you say, Dad, he's taking me off property? Why wouldn't you call me or say to him, hey, I really can't leave the hotel. My dad thinks I'm going to go to the bar here at the hotel a few steps away.
She doesn't have to reference my dad.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't. She's fine. She's safe. She's safe.
But she should have said, no, I can't leave the hotel property.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's 8 billion people in the world, and when she's looking into the eyes of some Dutch deckhand who's not ugly, she ain't thinking of you.
If you don't bring me my daughter, I will find you.
So, Chloe, listen, was there any...
You son of a bitch, fat ass, you cut me off.
Was there any kind of making out? I don't know, you were doing your Liam Neeson. No making out?
No, there wasn't. No.
Just the wind in your hair
Listen,
on the scooter.
Chloe, I think, was going for an innocent drink, but I'm sure this guy had other things on his mind.
No.
Yes! And, Chloe, that's my concern. And you realize that you gave me a near heart attack, right?
Sure.
I need a yes or a no response.
Yes.
You realize it was not a good decision, that you should have firmly put your foot down and said to the guy, we can have a drink right here at the hotel bar, but I'm not leaving the property. Why didn't you say that?
I really didn't think it was that big of a deal.
Well, I thought it was a big deal. See, that's what we got to talk about. That's why we got to continue this discussion.
I also think you forget how old I am.
Yeah, right?
My dad says we can only have the drink in your room, I guess.
I mean, I'm on property, but I'm in his room, Dad.
It was supposed to be the hotel bar out in the open, right in the back by the swimming pool, and that's it. So, Chloe, listen, I'm not totally done with this story as far as you and me personally. I just need you to think about, like Natalie Holloway type situations.
And speaking of that, Chloe, I did see a photo of him, and he is very cute. He does look like he could play Jordan Vandersloot in a movie.
Wait,
and
you have a
is
picture
Dutch.
of this guy?
Yeah, that's what he looks just like him.
I think of the J as more like Joran van der Sloot.
Well,
You guys can argue Dutch murderers later.
All right, Chloe, we'll continue this conversation privately, okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, on a positive note, how cool was that vacation?
It was a good trip.
What?
Yep.
Say it again.
We didn't hear you.
It was a good trip.
I thought you said it was a crap trip.
And what do you think of the scuba diving?
It was the best I've ever done.
Yeah, pretty
What
good
did you
stuff.
think of the Dutch deckhands?
Oh, you stop. No, they were Spanish.
Oh, they were Spanish, but it was a Dutch ship.
It was a Dutch ship, a Dutch sailboat. But
Amsterdam,
They were from Mallorca. The crew.
Oh, just like Hilaria.
Yeah. All right, Chloe. I'll see you later on.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Oh, man, being a dad. And, guess what? She is 22 and a half. She's got to be 23 in August. But still, to me, she's my little, second grader from Shorecrest,
Dude, she does all kinds of stuff you have no idea about. You crazy, man?
I know. She was in St. Andrews, Scotland for a year. And
Yeah, she's been in other countries. She knows how to conduct herself around the globe.
But you don't want to think about this crap,
You guys have fun with your daughters.
Oh, that's right. Frog, you've got 2 sons.
That's it, baby.
That's right. And Roxanne, you've got 2 daughters as well.
Yeah, no one wants to take them.
Yeah. I have a son and a daughter, so
you're getting both sides of it, buddy.
Julian is like the more responsible one. It's like Julian is like totally buttoned up. Chloe just is absolutely the riskier kid.
Yes.
But that will serve her well in some regards, be a risk taker.
When she gets kidnapped in Indonesia, it'll serve her very well.
Hey, guess what Michelle and I are doing for Valentine's Day?
Doing it.
Oh, come on, Roxanne.
Roxanne.
You've been separated for 2 weeks. Probably going to do it every day.
Roxanne, what has come over you?
Well,
you put the question out there.
Would you like to guess what Michelle and I are doing romantically for Valentine's Day, which is this Wednesday?
What, you're going to some place somebody offered you a free dinner?
Yeah, like the Golden Corral.
You're pretty close. I'm gonna hold up the answer to MJTV right now, and then I'll reveal what it is on the air over this microphone. Michelle and I for Valentine's dinner are going to.
Okay.
Look at the camera, folks.
Oh, well, good. Good. You should go.
Okay.
Was it Olive Garden?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So your mother-in-law gave you a $25 gift card.
Yeah, exactly.
Was that a joke gift or was that a serious gift?
It was kind of a gag gift because what was the Olive Garden story that came up? And then she gave me this for Christmas.
I think the fact that you've never been to one or you haven't been to one in 40 years.
I know what it was. When we were up in New York Thanksgiving week visiting Julian up at NYU, we went to a couple of really good Italian restaurants. One actually a Michelin star. We went to Teresi, which is a Michelin starred place. We went to Don Angie, another hot spot in New York. And I was making jokes that we had to settle for those places because we couldn't get into Olive Garden. So I was making these jokes on Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. So my mother-in-law, Michelle's mom, picks up on it, and one of my gifts for Christmas was a $25 Olive Garden gift certificate or a gift card. So Michelle and I thought it would be great for Valentine's dinner. Michelle actually came up with a suggestion. Hey, why don't we go to Olive Garden and use my mom's $25 gift card for Valentine's Day? So this Wednesday, Michelle and I are going to Olive Garden.
You're screwed.
Wow.
The last time I was at Olive Garden was with Michelle and her coworkers from Navy Federal Credit Union.
All right.
It was 1993, and I went to the Olive Garden on Lynn Haven Parkway in Virginia Beach, Virginia, because Michelle used to work for Navy Federal Credit Union.
You understand, you do know that you are picking the worst night of the year to go out to dinner.
Well, guess what? We might be going for like lunch. We might be doing Valentine's lunch at Olive Garden. So that's or late lunch, early dinner.
Oh, so you're going with the old people and getting the early bird special.
It's going to be a very, very, very exciting time. So, of course, I will document our entire Olive Garden experience this Wednesday night, Valentine's, here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Now, it expired last night at midnight. This is unbelievable. Do you know what I'm talking about? Last night at midnight, the clock ran out. Come on.
On your term life insurance
No,
policy.
that expired a while ago.
Okay, I don't know. What?
Come on.
Is it lottery related?
Yes, it is.
Okay, something about cashing in a lottery ticket.
It was that 35 million? The lottery ticket that was sold near 36 million.
Right.
$36 million lottery ticket was sold in Jacksonville, and it expired last night. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that you buy a lottery ticket, your ship comes in, and you never check your ticket, you lost your ticket, whatever the circumstances are. $36 million ticket. It was a Mega Millions ticket. It was sold back on August 5th at a Jacksonville Publix at 495 Roosevelt Boulevard. And according to the Florida Lottery, the jackpot prize had to be claimed by Sunday, February 11th at midnight. Yesterday. $36 million Mega Millions ticket expired with nobody claiming that ticket. Is that unfreaking believable?
So what happens to the money?
It goes to state education fund here in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you imagine? So close. You buy a winning ticket for $36 million? That's life-changing. You know, even after you take the cash option, you pay the taxes, what are you going to walk away with? Probably what, a cool
$20 million?
Probably $17, $18 million after taxes and after you take the lump sum and not get the annuity payout.
That's a lot of money.
Oh, my God. And speaking of the lottery, $45 million ticket was sold in Newport Richey. That was Florida Lottery.
Oh, yeah.
How about that? Somebody up in Newport Richey won $45 million. Are they going to cash in that ticket, or are they going to forget about that one as well? So Wednesday night drawing, somebody won $45 million. Sold at Coastal Wine and Liquor on US 19 up in Newport Richey. So congratulations to whoever won. Maybe an MJ Morning Show listener. Congrats. If that's you, call us up, 800-990-1047. Let us know if you won the $45 million. But you know what I was thinking also? That's a nice haul. You know, people like swing for the fences. Froggy?
Sir?
People are swinging for the fences, oh, man, $600 million jackpot for Powerball or $800 million Mega Millions. And listen, I got to be honest. I'm guilty of this crap. I'm guilty of not playing any of this lottery stuff until like Powerball or Mega Millions goes over $500 million. That's when I jump in. But if you really think about it, I don't have the odds like in my head. I do know that Powerball is like 1 in 292 million. The odds are astronomically ridiculous. But if you look at winning the Florida Lottery, the Newport Richey winning ticket for $45 million, that was Florida Lottery. The odds of winning the Florida Lottery have to be considerably better than winning Powerball or Mega Millions. So really, don't swing for the fences with these billion-dollar prizes. What's wrong with winning $45 million in the Florida Lottery, where your odds are probably, listen, the odds still suck, but they suck a whole lot less than Powerball or Mega Millions. Right. Let's be honest, right? Somebody in Newport Richey, congratulations. All right, let me shift gears here. This is unfortunately a pretty sad story. the plane wreck on I-75 down in Naples. Is that unbelievable?
Yeah, I found out about that from you.
You know, I had a whole bunch of people. How'd you find out about it from me?
Because I saw your little weird message. You know, on IG when you can put a little weird message in there about what's on your mind. I never do that, by the way.
Yeah.
But I saw you had done it, and you were like, thanks to everyone who let me know about the plane crash in Naples. And I immediately thought Naples, Italy. And I started Googling it.
No.
But it was right here.
Naples, Florida.
Yeah.
Right on I-75 down in Collier County. And I was informed by listeners. So we've got great listeners. We've got tons of great people that email me all kinds of stuff. Folks, if you ever want to get a hold of me via email, clearly I'm over in Indonesia, and I'm getting updates from people here in Florida. So listeners are sending me messages on Instagram. My direct messages are wide open. You can send me whatever you want. Just kind of back it down on the reels. I mean, people send me reels all day long, and I've seen most of them. And I don't get a chance to look at it all. I love getting real communication from listeners, not sending me reels.
You like real communication, not reels.
But a bunch of people sent me, actually somebody did send me a link to the video. There's a guy that was driving northbound, and he actually drives by the flaming Bombardier Challenger 600. Actually, I think it was a 604 that crashed on I-75. So listeners made me aware of this via email, mj@mjmorningshow.com, or on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio, and people are sending me. I had dozens of people saying, MJ, this just happened. People were, within an hour, people were sending me the video of the plane crash on I-75.
It's crazy if they think of you first when they see a burning plane.
I mean, can you imagine you go to work and you don't come home? I assumed everyone on the plane was dead. When the story first broke, and you're looking at a small jet completely engulfed in fire on the side of I-75 down in Naples, you're thinking, oh, there's no one that survived it. And it turns out 5 people on board this aircraft. You had the pilot, the first officer, then you had a flight attendant in the back, and then 2 passengers. Those 3 in the back escaped the flaming wreckage. And there's video of them running from the airplane. Did you see that? The 3 are running out of the airplane. Unfortunately, the pilot died. Edward Daniel Murphy, 50, of Oakland Park near Fort Lauderdale. And the second in command was Frederick Hoffman, 65-year-old from Pompano Beach. And both of them did not make it. But 23-year-old Sydney Ann Bosmans from Jupiter, just north of West Palm, she survived. And the 2 passengers from Columbus, Ohio. The plane was flying from Columbus. This is a private jet. One of these not a fractional, but one of these charter jet companies. You know, you got the NetJets, you got FlexJet. This happened to be HopAjet. And HopAjet is based out of Fort Lauderdale Executive. And they were flying these 2 people. And listen to how old the passengers were. The 2 passengers, 35-year-old Aaron Baker and 23-year-old Audra Green.
Okay.
They chartered a flight from Ohio down to Naples. What's this guy doing at 35 years old that he's chartering a jet?
I mean, it's just HopAjet.
Anyway, so he hops on this jet. Oh, you want to hear something kind of morbid?
Okay.
I went to the website for this HopAjet.
Yeah.
And the actual airplane that crashed is pictured on their website. It's like, guys, take that down.
They didn't have like a currently unavailable underneath it?
No, it's like November N823 something or other is the tail number of this aircraft. And they have this plane as part of their fleet, and it's pictured prominently on their website.
Dude, a more tragic plane crash happened the week prior in Clearwater.
Did you hear about that one?
Yeah, I was on vacation, but
some old lady was in her mobile
home. You had that was a single engine plane that crashed into the mobile home park over in Clearwater. Yeah, and a woman's in her mobile home, and a plane falls out of the sky. Yeah, I saw that as well.
So
unbelievable. But can you imagine these 2 pilots that go to work and they don't come home? And the audio is pretty chill. Have you heard the air traffic audio on this?
You gonna play it?
Yeah.
Oh crap.
Yeah. I mean, it's oof.
Okay.
It's really.
We'll tell jokes again in a few minutes, people. Just bear with us.
Yeah, it's really kind of What'd you say, Fester?
I said we'll tell jokes again
Festers
in a few
doesn't
minutes.
agree with this.
Fester,
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear.
Dude, our show has all kinds of content. I'm talking about Chloe nearly getting abducted in Indonesia.
That was a funny story.
Who are you,
guess
Ted?
What? We do everything on this program. We do a little bit of everything on the
Driving into
program.
work on a Monday. Let me hear a plane crash.
Well, we do air. We
what
know.
an idiot
we
you
know
are,
we,
dude.
We know we do airplanes for good or for bad on this show.
I said,
too.
you don't want me to play the audio?
Yeah,
Take
forget
a
it.
vote.
You know what? We just won't. Forget it.
Fine.
You know what? MJ, play it. Screw
Listen,
him.
I just think the point is you got to appreciate life. And the fact is that it's just kind of morbid that you're about to hear this pilot saying that both engines are out.
Okay, I want to go on the record with Fester. I don't want to hear it.
I would go on the record, but I
I
get
don't know
dizzy
that I need
easily.
to hear a pilot saying both of his engines are out to appreciate life.
It's just, it's
The point is, we got. I mean, Chloe was appreciating life in the back of a moped in Raja Ampat.
You wrecked
called her
that.
back for that.
all right, so you don't want me to play the audio?
I think you should.
If you and Froggy play it,
And
All right, here's the audio. This is the
Great.
pilot declaring an emergency.
I tried.
Hey, Challenger, Hopperjet 823, lost both engines, emergency. I'm making an emergency landing.
Got the emergency clear to land runway 23. Is that Hopperjet 823?
We're clear to land, but we're not going to make the runway. We've lost both engines.
Oh, that's devastating.
I know we're not going to make the runway. I mean, it gives me chills.
And he's the one who passed, right?
Yes, that's the pilot.
I just want to clarify that. Yeah.
You know, they could have possibly survived. They came down on I-75. They hit a pickup truck. Did you see there was a construction worker that he walked away? When you first saw the back of the truck was all smashed in, you thought that whoever was in that truck didn't make it. The guy in the white truck that got hit by the airplane walked away. There were 3 women also in an SUV that they had a smaller encounter with the airplane. But it's like, oh, man, why couldn't this plane have just landed safely on I-75? But unbelievably, the 3 in the back escaped the airplane. The pilot and co-pilot, first officer, they did not make it. And then you can hear air traffic at the Naples Executive Airport.
Tower Shadow 5, where's that? Shadow 5, there are 2 northwest right over I-75. Hopperjet 823.
We got him. Right off our nose, right on the tail end of the runway.
Everybody stand by. There's an alert 3 in progress. Everybody stand by.
Off of our heading right now, we're flying heading 210. He is just off of our nose on about a 230 heading. Tower Shadow 5 rescue helicopter, request to go to the scene.
Shadow 5, proceed direct as requested.
All right, so the last thing was a Collier County Sheriff's helicopter, and they were just cleared to go directly to the scene. They landed on 75 in the median. So the sheriff's helicopter landed in the middle of the interstate.
I'm trying to take this seriously and listen to you in the audio, but Fester's making all these faces, and it's really
Fester,
distracting.
Just stop. If you don't like it, just leave the room.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Just leave the room.
Listen, thank you.
No,
I will.
it is giving me bad chills.
You want honest feedback here? You want to have a conversation back and forth? I don't think we should be playing pilot crashing into interstate. We already covered the whole damn
It's
thing.
a huge story.
We've been talking about it for 12 minutes.
It's
MJ, I
giving
want to
me.
hear it.
It's
Let's play it
giving-
again. Let's play it, except this time put like the helium effect on it.
All right, you know what?
You are so
What is wrong with you?
Did you get any
I'm
relax?
talking about serious content here. We do a little bit of everything on the show, and you're like being a schmuck.
I don't want to listen to it anymore. It's giving me like bad chills.
Schmuck on air. That's you. You're a schmuck on air.
Take a call. I'm not alone.
Anyway, I'm talking about a story that happened a couple of days ago that is an unbelievable story.
God, I actually enjoyed the audio.
I actually appreciate life more. MJ, you were right the whole time. Son of a gun. What was I thinking?
Why are you just being a dick?
What? I'm the dick? No. If anything, we're mutual Richards around here.
You're out of control, Fester.
All right. It's fine.
Moving along.
I needed that.
What, that comedy of airplane
That was
banter?
awesome. No, him calling you a D.
We got both engines out. Froggy's like, oh, I needed that. All right.
All right, so Fester, I'll tell you what. Why don't you bring some stellar award-winning content to the show?
Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
Go.
Dude,
go.
The Taylor Swift Super Bowl numerology?
I'm not talking about.
how about the guy?
It's incredible.
Guess what? My Chinese Lunar New Year resolution is no more Taylor Swift on this show.
Yesterday. First of all,
no more.
What is Taylor Swift's lucky number?
No more Taylor Swift on this show.
What is the lucky number for Taylor?
83.
13.
Or 87. What is Kelsey's?
87?
87.
Yeah.
So this is so stupid. You saw this online.
Yeah. Yes. We talk about things that we see, like a plane crash on an interstate. You see it firsthand. Listen,
What do you have a list now?
Yesterday's Super Bowl. What Super Bowl was it?
58.
Add 5 and 8 together. What do you get?
17.
Wrong.
13.
Yes. Halftime score 10-3.
Whoa.
13, Taylor's favorite number.
Hey, did you guys see the guy who got hurt?
She's not done.
I'm not done.
Hang on a second. The IQ of Kelsey. IQ of Travis Kelsey. 13.
So Taylor went to
Okay.
the Super Bowl after doing a concert in Tokyo. Would you care to guess how long the flight was?
13 hours and 13 minutes.
13 hours, 13 minutes.
Viva Las Vegas! Viva Las Vegas! Viva Las Vegas!
That's Travis Kelsey. and then
You gotta fight for your right! Believe it.
yeah, that's Travis Kelsey.
We get it. You're trying to show off in front of Taylor. Back it down a notch, bro.
After the big win, and they're doing the Vince Lombardi Trophy presentation. That's Travis Kelsey after he nearly mowed over, all pissed off, and plows into Coach Reed.
Hey, Fester, did your numerology report include that some people think Taylor has a mystical influence on the game? And remember when the 49ers linebacker, did you see that guy when he came out there, Dre Greenlaw, and he tore his Achilles? He was just running onto the field.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I have a little stack of things, and that's one of the things in the stack. I'm glad you brought it up. You know what? While we're talking about that, let's fire up the phones because we need to get a little more in depth on the commercials. What was your favorite Super Bowl commercial? And this is kind of I guess a prerequisite. Day after the Super Bowl, we got to talk about the commercials. I had a couple ones that I pointed out. Michelle had a clear favorite. And Michelle loved the commercial so much. Apparently, she's going to go buy something at this place later today.
Ooh, Temu?
Oh, God.
They had a bunch of commercials.
Oh, my. Did you see how many commercials? Let's go to phones. What did you like? What did you hate? Your feedback on the Super Bowl commercials right now. Fire up the phones. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. What was your favorite commercial? What was your second favorite? What did you like? What didn't you like? Feedback on the commercials, Super Bowl 58 from last night. Let's go. Taking your calls now. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Now, Roxanne, you're bringing up the injury, which was bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that a couple times, and it just looked crazy. He just was jumping. You think his muscles and his joints were just he was so amped up. Like, it was just nuts. How do you injure yourself just running onto the field?
It was an idiot. San Francisco 49ers linebacker Dre Greenlaw had this freak accident in the first half of the Super Bowl. He was jumping up and down on the sideline, then started to run onto the field, and then collapses, holding his leg. Running onto the field, he had an Achilles tendon tear. It's like, what the? Talk about a freak accident.
When they played it in slow motion, you could see the little pop right in his ankle, and then you could see his foot buckling unnaturally. And I'm like, ooh, that ain't good.
What kind of a klutz is this guy?
Just unbelievable. Just a crazy injury. He was out for the rest of the game. It doesn't get any more bizarre than that. Oh, also, did you see Patrick Mahomes' dad got popped for DUI just a couple of days prior to the Super Bowl?
Ooh.
Oh, Dad, what did you do?
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes Sr. arrested last Saturday on suspicion of driving while intoxicated, according to the Kansas City Star, and this would be his third offense. DUI.
Wow, Mr. Mahomes sure likes to drink and drive.
Charged with a second DWI offense there in 2018. Pleaded guilty, served 40 days in county jail.
How about when you're drinking, you stay Mahomes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
drink at Mahomes.
Stupid ass.
Good point.
Got
Or, you know,
to drink at my bar instead of Mahomes.
Come on my lily pad, Dad, and we'll drink together.
Let's go to phones on the Super Bowl commercials. What commercial did you like? What was your favorite ad? What was your favorite Super Bowl ad, or what did you not like? 800-990-1047 gets you on. 800-990-1047. Let's start with, Fester, let me do the phone screener here. How about Jennifer? Jennifer, you're on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi.
Jennifer, welcome to the program. What commercial did you like best?
The best one was the Dunkin' Donuts commercial with Ben Affleck and J-Lo and Tom Brady.
You know what?
Oh, man, that was great.
That is exactly the commercial that Michelle found to be the best. Michelle says to me last night, I'm going to Dunkin' Donuts tomorrow to get a coffee to help them pay for that Super Bowl ad. It was so good.
What'd they do?
All right, here's what I realized yesterday watching the Super Bowl commercials. I'm going to have to forever watch Tom Brady in Super Bowl commercials.
He was in like at least like 2-3 commercials. Yeah,
2-3.
He was in a lot of freaking commercials.
But did you guys see the one when they go?
Hey, Jennifer, thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
Like it was a bunch of guys.
Thank you.
Hey, do me a favor, Fester. Bring up the Dunkin' commercial. Let's play a little bit of the Dunkin' commercial.
Which
Froggy,
one?
which one?
Which one?
And they said like, "What's up?" And they picked up the phone.
What's up?
You guys see that one? That was really good.
Yeah. In 1993.
98. Okay.
What year was that?
99, 98. I don't know.
What's up? What's up?
So this is a 60-second spot, so it cost about $14.5 million.
Yeah, so if it was $7 million for 30 seconds, it would have been a $14 million spot.
Let's see it. Is it funny? What do they do?
So
Does Ben Affleck call the queen a drunk?
Roll it from the beginning, Fester. Hit it. Go ahead.
I don't think you should do this. Last year she came to my work. Now I gotta show her what I can do.
He's here.
Affleck on the track.
What up, Bronx? For your consideration, here comes the Boston Massacre. The Dunk Kings. Touchdown Tommy on them keys. Player coach.
Got it.
I'm open. And needs no introduction, my partner.
Sometimes it's really hard to be your friend. You said you were gonna support me?
Dunk Kings.
Don't go away. My heart. Why you dunking me, girl? Why you dunking me?
Dunk Kings.
My heart.
How do you like them donuts? I'm so sorry.
You had to see it, but I forgive you. Lay us on the track.
Are we gonna be on the album?
We talked about this.
Let's go. You're blinded by them pinstripes.
Wrap it up.
Here goes Babe Ruth.
Tom, you can stay.
You remember when I told you I'd do anything for you? This is anything.
Chill. They're naming a drink after us.
So the
I
Dunk
thought you
Kings.
guys said that was funny.
It was a pretty clever spot. So
It was clever, but it wasn't like it didn't garner any like just really
Oh, Ben
belly
Affleck
laughs.
doing a Boston accent.
that was one of the highest rated commercials, though.
Yeah, it was clever. It was high entertainment quality, but funny.
So what it was Ben Affleck shows up at Jennifer Lopez's recording studio, where she's obviously working on something, and busts in as the Dunk Kings with Tom Brady, Matt Damon, and Ben Affleck.
Ben or who's Matt Damon had the funny.
I feel like throwing a rock at a Dunkin' Donuts right now.
Jim's in Temple Terrace. Jim, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning.
Jim, what was your favorite
Long-time
commercial?
Listener, love it.
Thank you, Jim. What was your favorite commercial?
Oh, I busted a gut on that one about Pluto. We're raising couch potatoes, big ones.
Oh, the Pluto TV, the streaming service.
Yeah.
Yeah, where all the folks were like that whole field of people dressed up as potatoes, and they were on couches.
They're just putting TVs in front of them and just sitting there. That was funny.
That was a good spot, actually. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. All right, 800-990-1047. Grab a couple of more calls. 800-990-1047. What was your favorite commercial? What was your least favorite commercial? Whatever you want to comment on regarding the Super Bowl spots. I didn't think the density of, really for it seems like the last couple of years, maybe even 5 years, it just seems like maybe we're just getting used to it. but it just seems like the spots, they just don't make the same impact. It just doesn't seem to be the event that it used to be, waiting for the Super Bowl commercials. Agree, disagree? 800-990-1047. Kenneth is in Riverview. Kenneth, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Well, go ahead.
I like the YouTube Sunday Ticket where the Baltimore Ravens were hanging out in the tree and they started flying toward the house. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. No, that was pretty funny. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
All right. And, Fessy, you brought up, I think, the Temu.
Yeah, Temu. Yeah, well, you said Michelle's going to buy something from one of these advertisers, and I said Temu, which I know she wouldn't.
Well, first of all, in the commercial, they pronounce it Temu.
Yeah.
Oh, did they? I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, they ran like 3 or 4 commercials. That is a Chinese spy operation, meaning when you put the Temu app, when you put that app on your phone, you're giving them access to everything. They can steal all of your data. They have access to like your emails, your photos, all of your personal stuff. That app, the Chinese Communist government can drill into everything. Get the Temu, whatever the hell you want to call it. If you still have that on your phone, then
it's too late. It's too late.
They probably just ripped you off sideways. It's like TikTok. It's a Chinese data collecting spy operation. Oh, let's ply the Americans with all kinds of cheap crap and then steal all their data. That's what's going on. All right, Billy in Tampa. Billy, you're on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Hey, Billy, welcome.
Hey, thank you.
Billy, what was your favorite commercial?
The Christopher Walken one.
Yeah, the BMW spot. Yeah. Hey, Fester, go bring that up, would you please?
On the New York Times list, that was the number one
commercial. It was really funny, and you had a commercial for BMW where all of the people were imitating Christopher Walken. So he's going into a restaurant, and they're all imitating him doing his delivery, his voice. Good call. That was a good spot.
Alrighty.
All right, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it. All right, play that quickly, Fester. A little bit of the Christopher Walken. Here we go.
Nice ride.
It's the real deal. 100% electric.
It's the real deal.
Yeah.
It's a valet guy.
Thank you.
Of course. Enjoy your coffee. Careful, it's hot.
Thanks.
Your dog's so cute.
Yeah.
Ooh, so adorable. Wow.
Right. We both know
It's the man. Makes the clothes.
You know, you look nice.
Okay. We done?
Hello, Mr. Walken. Does this table work for you? Yeah.
Did someone say yeah?
And then there's Usher.
Don't you got somewhere to be?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's only one Christopher Walken and only one ultimate driving machine.
That's cool.
The rest are just imitations.
Come on.
Anyway, pretty good commercial. All right, go back to the phone screener.
Speaking of Usher, what'd you think of the halftime show?
That was all right. I mean, hey, listen, he's a talented guy. The roller skating obviously took some skill.
Yeah, he is that part of his Vegas show too?
I don't know. I didn't know the guy could roller skate.
I don't know that I've ever seen a sweatier person than Usher doing the halftime show.
Usher's a seriously good performer, but I only knew In the Club. That was like the only song I knew.
Yeah.
In the Club.
Yeah, he doesn't have.
Yeah.
You realize he doesn't have a ton of up-tempo songs like that one.
Usher.
Yeah. Usher. So he was, and he sang just short little snippets of so many of them that it just felt like mashups. It felt like Usher mashups,
Listen,
and then crescendoed with it.
He's a talented guy, talented performer. I didn't think it was the best halftime show. All right, let's grab Jonathan in Lutz. Jonathan, MJ Morning Show, your favorite commercial.
Good morning, everybody. My favorite commercial turned my head. I haven't watched commercials in forever at the Super Bowl, but the Dude Wipes commercial made me stop in my tracks, and I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, the Dude Wipes. Julian, my son, loves Dude Wipes.
And every man should. There's nothing wrong with Dude Wipes. I mean, every man needs a Dude Wipe every once in a while. It's better than having another kind of wipe in your life. So having Dude Wipes is great, MJ. You have a good day.
Well, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. And, I don't know, a month or two ago, remember we had a Dude Wipes story that Dude Wipes was like being sued, that they claimed that the Dude Wipes were flushable, but some people, I guess, had their plumbing backed up. And didn't they settle like some class action suit for like $10 million?
They just sent over a bunch of Dude Wipes.
No, seriously, Dude Wipes got sued. And, hey, Julian loves the product. It's a really good product, apparently. I've not used Dude Wipes, but Julian loves Dude Wipes. Did you find the spot?
It wasn't on the list for the ad meter.
Really?
Yeah, because here's all the advertisers. Doritos, DoorDash, Dove, Drumstick, Dunkin', then it goes to Elf Cosmetics.
Oh, Dude Wipes is not on the list?
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the phone screener. All right, let me grab, hey, Andrew, no more calls. Let me just finish up what's on hold, and then we'll move on. Kim is in Largo. Kim, MJ Morning Show, hi.
Hi.
Kim, what was your favorite commercial?
The Cetaphil commercial where the distant father and the daughter, they're bonding over Taylor Swift's appearance. Did you see that one?
Who was it for?
Cetaphil. You wash your face. Cetaphil, facial.
Cetaphil.
Yeah, Cetaphil. You know what? Actually, I use that. I use the face wash in the shower.
Oh, it was really it was so emotional.
Oh.
Yeah, like she was like distant from her dad, and then she joins him on the couch, and then they bond. It was like so dramatic. It was amazing.
Well, thank you, Kim. Have a great day. Thanks for calling in.
My wife got choked up on that Kia ad with the little kid ice skating for Grandpa.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, it's so sweet.
Donna in Zephyr Hills. Donna, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning, MJ. How you doing?
Doing well. What do you think of the Super Bowl commercials?
Well, my favorite one was the Dun Kings, of course, but you were saying earlier that they don't make them like they used to, and I used to really look forward to watching the Super Bowl commercials.
Yep.
I still miss the Budweiser frogs.
Yep, Budweiser.
It's been a while.
It just seems that the density of great spots, unless maybe it is as good, and we're getting desensitized to the commercials. Maybe. Donna, thanks for the call. All right, just two more, and I got to move on here. Bill is in Oldsmar. Bill, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
How about the Jesus commercial? That was a good one.
Well, there
were a whole bunch of them.
They ran a local one. It was a Jesus Chrysler Jeep of Jacksonville when they went to cut to the local commercial. That was a local commercial.
What about Jesus Chrysler?
Yeah, Jesus Chrysler Jeep of Jacksonville. Jesus. That's what it was.
Well, you know what, Bill? Did you know that you know the thing about the Jesus commercial, right? It was all AI.
Come and watch Roxanne's feet. Can we watch Roxanne's feet?
Thanks, Bill. Listen.
That was turning this into a foot fetish thing.
No, but those weren't real people in the ad. They were all. It was all AI.
Come to Oldsmar. Come to Oldsmar. We'll wash your feet.
Okay.
Thanks,
you're great.
Roxanne's trying to have a conversation with this guy.
Yeah.
He's a jokester.
Foot focus.
Yeah. So my grandfather, my Papa Fred, used to always say, Jesus Chrysler. He used to.
I've never heard that.
Oh yeah, I heard that when I was like 4 years old. One last call here. Sam in Spring Hill. Sam, you got the last call on this. Hi, Sam.
Hey, what's up, MJ?
Hey there.
I'm going to have to say that I think they all sucked. Like, it's not what it used to be.
Sam,
like
do you think...
were saying, yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, you think we're like immune because all we do is stare at our phones and watch silly reels and memes and stuff all the time? We're just humor. So then nothing really knocks us out of the, blows us over?
Maybe. I don't know. I just, you wait for that like big laugh and I was like, where is it? I'm not getting it anymore.
Yeah.
It's not happening. And the Super Bowl halftime, that sucked too. That was terrible.
Yeah, listen,
Sir, bite your tongue.
Yeah, you're not an Usher fan. I don't think Usher's trying to entertain Sam from Spring Hill.
Fester, it's Usher.
Sorry.
I think Lil Jon was the best part of that.
Yeah, when Lil Jon came out,
I like that.
Ludacris came out at the end. That was great.
How about Alicia Keys?
She was
She
great.
was terrible.
She looks great.
Hold on, what do you mean she looked terrible?
No, she didn't look terrible. When she first came in, it was like, what happened?
Well, you know what?
She doesn't wear makeup anymore.
Well, no, hold on. You're talking about her singing? wait a minute. You're talking about her singing or her appearance?
Yeah, no, the singing.
You know what? You're right. When she first came in,
that first note was a doozy.
Her first note was like off key.
We all looked at each other like, what the hell's going on, man? What is this?
More like Alicia off keys, huh, guys?
Yeah.
Right, dude?
Good one, Froggy. All right. Thanks,
bro.
Thanks. All right, buddy. Have a great one. Hey, I thought Reba McEntire doing the national anthem. I thought she was fantastic.
She looked really good too, didn't she?
Dude, whatever. Post Malone was awesome.
Yeah, with the Singing America first, Post Malone was great.
Yeah, with Post Malone, I'm still trying to figure out him and who's the country dude. Why are they tattooing their face? I don't get it.
Okay, so
it's the look.
Speaking of,
and then there was a commercial where commercial where Post Malone was making fun of his not
Jelly Roll.
I'm sorry, a Jelly Roll rather.
That was the Jennifer Aniston. You have to forget something to remember something.
That concept was funny.
And then Jelly Roll's like, "What happened to my face?"
Yeah.
I thought that was comical, and it's quick clip.
Did you pull any of Reba McEntire? Where's Reba? Hang on, I'm looking for Reba.
It sounded just like this. Outside.
Oh, here it is. All right, here's a little bit of Reba McEntire. Yeah, I thought she was fantastic.
You see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed.
And you know, they do the over-under on the length.
On the timing,
And apparently she extended that last note and I guess brought it to the actual
over-under point?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Anyway, she was fantastic.
Wow, I don't hear much twang there, do
And
you?
then she sang Fancy, which is my favorite Reba song. It's about whoring out your kid.
What?
You never heard the Reba McEntire song Fancy?
No.
No, I'm sorry.
Here's your one chance,
Yeah.
Fancy. Be nice to the gentleman.
Listen, I know who Reba McEntire is. I know a couple of songs, but I don't know her entire catalog. 8:51 at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Bringing to an end over an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. When we get back, Roxanne's brush with celebrity while we were gone. You know, I was invited to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course you were.
Well, I got an invitation.
I invited the whole crew. I invited everybody.
Well, I got an invite, but I had to respond back, hey, thanks for the invite, but I am scuba diving in Indonesia right now, so I can't make it. But Roxanne had a brush with celebrity. Who did Roxanne brush with? So that's on the way in just a second. Oh, we got to worry about another virus. You see this?
Like computer virus or like Wuhan virus?
Hang on. Well, you got to stay tuned to find out what the hell I'm talking about. So another we got a lot of stuff. We have a loaded, long segment. Back in minutes. Don't move. MJ Morning Show right here on Q105. Don't move. If you're looking for...
This is the MJ Morning Show on Q.
9 o'clock at the MJ Morning Show at Q105. It is great to be back. Not that I didn't enjoy my scuba trip with Chloe. Of course I did, but it's always great to come back home. And listen, I love doing the show. If I don't love doing the show, I wouldn't be doing the show. I'd be scuba diving 24/7. However, when I do trips like that, it kind of makes me want to think about packing things in and just scuba diving year round. But I think I got a little bit more gas in the tank.
I mean, you're certainly full of gas.
I haven't signed the contract yet.
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, they sent it to me. I got the final draft of the contract while I was in Indonesia. So
what's with these people and sending you things when you're on vacation?
I don't know.
Wasn't the last contract when you were out west?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so they're not beating my door down. This last time they're like, "Hey, you got to sign it before midnight." So I'm like, guys, I'm not going anywhere. So I got the new contract, and I guess my lawyers are looking over it just to make sure they didn't sneak anything in at the last minute. Which, hey, listen, can happen. But I haven't signed the new deal yet, but I expect to sign it shortly, unless I decide to say, you know what, I'm going to pack it in, and I'm just, I just love scuba diving. I'd like to go on 19 trips a year.
You're not going to say that.
Anyway, Michelle just texted me. Well, actually, she texted me during the segment, but I didn't look at my phone. She said there was one thing missing from the BMW commercial with Christopher Walken.
What?
The one thing I was waiting for, it the whole spot.
Michelle's 100% right. Why didn't you bring it up then?
We're moving on.
Suddenly you're going to say what you think I'm going to say?
I think.
And what's that?
Cowbell.
Yes. Michelle said the one thing missing in the BMW spot was, why didn't they work more cowbell?
Any cowbell.
Seriously, they kind of missed that.
Yeah, they really did.
One of the people could have said, more cowbell.
Yeah.
That's what they. Yes, Andrew.
I think the reason is that was an NBC bit with Saturday Night Live.
Doesn't matter.
And the game was on CBS.
That's right. That's a good point.
It's an iconic thing that's related to.
It doesn't matter.
Lorne Michaels would have sued.
No, you can't.
It's an advertising.
You can't copyright the line "more cowbell."
We used it. With, the Rays used it all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree with Michelle. The one thing missing was they should have worked more cowbell into that BMW commercial. That would have been fantastic. All right, Roxanne.
Yes.
I don't get offended because I don't think your kid's a great singer, okay?
No, I'm not offended by that. I'm not worried about that. I'm offended that you don't reciprocate on any of our IG pages. Fester Sucks doesn't really post much, but Froggy on his account. But Froggy posts great content.
That's right. The best.
Yeah,
Froggy MJ Radio.
I post stuff as well, and you never throw any of us like any likes, any hearts, any comments. You just live in you're in send mode all the time. I get it because I can't like everybody's stuff either, but we do work with you every day. Take a gander at what we're doing in our lives.
Roxanne, it's not personal. I post on Instagram. I don't spend time going through Instagram.
Okay, so that's good. Good to know about you.
I post. I don't sit there and incessantly scroll. I don't have time. I post content. Just like I do a ton of content on this radio show with you guys, I post content on Instagram. I don't go to all kinds of Instagram accounts and scroll through. Occasionally, it pops up in my feed and I see some stuff, and I do like a few things, but I'm sorry. I create the content. I don't consume a lot of the content.
I go and I post.
Don't take it personally that I didn't see the latest video of your kid screaming in that little kitty shrill voice, and that I didn't like it and hit a heart button.
Well, guess what I do? I go to your little videos and I like them and I comment on them, and my goal is to write a comment that everyone likes better than they like. I get more likes on my comment than you get on your actual post. That's my goal. If people could help me out on that.
Well, are we really grown adults getting butthurt over Instagram and social media?
I'm not. I'm sorry, Roxanne. Don't take it personally that I don't sit on your Instagram and like all your posts. It's nothing personal.
I'm just telling you, that's like we're a team around here. That's just kind of what.
So you're taking it. You're insulted that I'm not going through your Instagram feed liking your post. I'm sorry.
Advice.
We're a pile of coworkers. We're nothing like a team or friends. Right?
Fester,
Roxanne thinks, we're the best of friends. We're just kind of just talk.
A lot of radio shows, you got a whole team and a whole collaboration, but a lot are not like, they don't hang out off the air.
I don't want to hang out with any of you guys.
I mean, we hang out in the studio. Listen, we're together, over 25 hours a week altogether, probably?
One whole day of the week is us in this odd solitary confinement that we put ourselves in.
Yeah, listen, we love working together. So Roxanne,
do we?
Whoa.
Right, exactly. Now you're coming around.
Oh, Roxanne is smiling and shaking her head like she's joking off the air. I don't even know if they saw you on MJTV. Now, listen, we like what we do in the studio, but I'm sorry, Roxanne, that I'm not like slaving over your Instagram and waiting for your latest post to like it. I'm sorry.
Team reciprocation. Do as you wish.
Team reciprocation. Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so folks, follow Roxanne Wilder at Roxanne Wilder.
Okay, I like that. Now you're on my good side.
Follow Roxanne Wilder and hit the like button for all the things that I don't see and like, okay? Help me out. And while you're at it, go ahead and unfollow me at Certified MJ Radio.
That's right.
Okay, now you're just being a martyr. All right. Did you want to talk about what you did? Did you see the thing on my IG account this week? Is that what we're going to talk about with a celebrity?
Yes, that I saw somehow because I think you sent it to me. But Roxanne had a brush with celebrity while we were on vacation. I did get the invite from Chris Jallo from Lukens. However, I said, hey, Chris, thanks for the invite, but I'm in Indonesia scuba diving. And Roxanne, you went and you brushed elbows with
one of the Jenners, Kardashians. I forgot which. Kendall.
She's a Jenner.
Yes, Jenner.
Yeah.
Jenner.
So Lukens Liquors, fine local family-run establishment with many locations. Lukens to the Tampa location, the Midtown location, the new Lukens store and the old Rooms to Go Kids location, just north of Kennedy on Dale Mabry, just south of 275. They had Kendall Jenner in town with her tequila. Is that what, 818?
818.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tried it. It was really good.
I think my buddy Larry went to work for her for a while.
Really?
Yeah. Larry, the liquor man, used to run Southern Wine and Spirits locally, then went up to New York, and then I think retired from them and then helped Kendall Jenner and the 818 brand.
Yeah. So Chris Jello and Lukens, I love their family. They're so nice. He could have Bobcat Goldthwait there, and I would come out for an appearance.
I would go to that.
Right? Well, okay, then maybe that's a poor example.
There'd be a lot of broken bottles.
It doesn't, like,
Hey, come here, taste my tequila. Come here. It's Bobcat Goldthwait tequila.
They put on such great events there. I would go to see anybody there.
So how long did you spend with Kendall Jenner?
I can tell you because I recorded the conversation with her, so I can tell you how long it
Did
was.
she know you were recording her? Because, Florida's a two-party state, isn't it?
No, she was so nice and down to earth. And I'm not a big, I've never watched the Kardashian show. I'm not a big follower of them.
I have not seen the Kardashian show once. I've seen, virtually nothing of that program.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't either. So I had to Google her and see, okay, this is the model. Got it. And she is tall and thin and beautiful. And she was really, for being, is she a billionaire? I don't know if she's a billionaire, but
I thought there was a story a while ago that.
Yeah.
Because doesn't she have a cosmetic?
She's a billionaire?
Doesn't she have a cosmetic brand?
Or is that Kylie? I
hold on. I can't keep track of these, the Jenners, the Kardashians.
So was it a 30-second interaction or was it like a 2-minute interaction?
2 minutes, probably 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you tell her that you're part of a radio morning show?
Yes, I surely did. Yep.
So she said, "What's right now?"
Mostly, I just right.
That's in a podcast.
I'm 22. She's 22 years old.
But it was a private event, right? Because
yes,
the invitation that I got for Lukens last week. What day was it last week? Was it
It was a Wednesday.
Right. So I'm still scuba diving in Raja Ampat, but I got an invitation that said this is a private event. Do not share. You were not supposed to tell anyone that Kendall Jenner was going to show up. They didn't want a massive crowd, but they've done massive crowds. For instance, we gave away all of those VIP tickets to Mark Wahlberg and his tequila at what was it with celebs and tequilas?
Because I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Why is it? Because I'm not a tequila drinker. I really don't like tequila, so I don't drink it. But why aren't celebs getting behind bourbons and whiskeys?
Well,
it's because they get to have a vacation home in Mexico that's a complete write-off.
Yeah.
That would be one reason. But look it's the George Clooney business model.
Yeah, you're right.
They're all trying to copy what he did. Look how wealthy he is after his.
What was it? Avia? What was his tequila?
His is the one everybody loves. What is it? Why can't I think of it?
Not
right
me.
now?
Fortitude.
Not me, because I don't like tequila.
George Clooney for Fortitude tequila.
Oh, Casamigos.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
Casamigos is George Clooney.
No Casamigos, huh? You sexist bastard.
You want to hear a funny story about tequila? What time is it? 9:10. You want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, dude.
All right, this is a little inside radio. I haven't told this story to anyone. Well, Michelle knows the story. So when I went up to New York when I was with iHeart, and I worked for J-Core to Clear Channel to iHeart for 25 years. A quarter freaking century I worked for that company. And I had some great years, phenomenal times. I made a boatload of money. And listen, I delivered for them. They delivered for me. All right. When I went up to New York to do the morning show up in New York at WOR, I was invited out to dinner with the CEO of iHeart, Bob Pittman. And Bob Pittman has a tequila brand. And he is partnered with a tequila as well. They had a high-end version, then a midline version, and it's a craft tequila. And he invited me out to dinner, and we go to dinner, and I actually introduced him to Larry the Liquor Man before Larry went to work for Kendall Jenner and 818 Tequila. So I introduced Larry to help Southern Wine promote Bob Pittman's tequila. And so I'm out at Nomad. I think they're closed now, but Nomad was a pretty hot restaurant. And we go to Nomad for dinner, and they had the tequila on the table. And I couldn't tell the CEO of iHeart that I really don't like tequila, so I had to drink it. Oh, this is great. Yeah, listen, I'm sure tequilas are great.
They're strong.
I'm just not. I don't like the tequila flavor.
Any good radio company has about 1,000 employees in recovery. You could have just said pass. It would have been fine. It's okay. I know a bunch of people on the program.
Now we know where Chloe gets her can't say no people pleaser from her dad.
Seriously.
So, listen, I'm not one to not speak up. I'm not one to not let people know exactly how I feel. I'm not shy, but I had just gone up to New York. I think we were there for 6-8 months, and this dinner's put together, and Pittman wants us to try the tequila. And as far as tequila goes, it's apparently a very, very good product. But I'm just not a tequila drinker. I'm not into the flavor, but I had to drink it and go, oh man, this is great. I don't fake much, but I kind of had to, kind of had to pull that one off.
Big faker.
Because look, I'm a red wine drinker. And, oh, man, I found a red wine for $8 a bottle. I found a red wine, $8 a bottle. And I bought the last 14 bottles.
Jeez, of course.
$7.99 a bottle. And I tell you, I don't want to reveal what it is yet because it's out of stock. It's supposed to be back in stock later this month. And once I get my hands on 2 or 3 cases,
you'll tell everybody else?
Then I'll tell everyone else what it is. But there's a great $7.99 wine that I found that is an incredible value. $7.99 a bottle. It's drinking like a $40 bottle of wine. Hands down. So cling to the show, and I'll tell you in a couple of weeks when I get my hands on more of this particular wine. Anyway, 9:14 at the MJ Morning Show. So the point is that meeting Kendall Jenner at Lucan's on last Wednesday, she was very pleasant.
She was pleasant, down to earth.
Apparently you were envious of her height and her beauty and her thinness.
I didn't say I was envious, but...
Well, it sure as hell sounded like it.
I was complimenting her on it. No, I'm trying to paint a picture because when you see someone in person, you wonder, are they going to look like they look on television? And I did Google it. Kylie, her sister, is the billionaire. And Kendall's probably trying to become a billionaire, maybe with this 818.
Yeah, all right. So Kylie's the cosmetics one.
She's
then
the cosmetics one.
See,
yes.
I can't keep track of Kendall, Kylie. I don't know.
So what exactly did you talk about for the rest of the 2 minutes?
Oh, Fester. You know exactly what I talked about. Think about it. How much I drink tequila.
Oh. So you like
plenty to talk.
You
about.
Like tequila?
I do. I love tequila.
So is that's your drink? Is tequila?
Red wine is my number one drink. But if I really want to have a good time, yeah. And so, but they did something really cool there. And Kendall, it was a small event, and Kendall was sitting with everyone while we tasted all 3, the añejo and the
no pressure.
Yeah, reposado.
It's like
junk. That's great. It's great.
It's awesome.
It's like dog vomit.
Yeah. So be happy you weren't there because you wouldn't have wanted to sip any.
Well, because I'm just not at least I was in Indonesia, so I got to get out of the event and not go. Listen, I would have gone to the event, but I didn't have to sip it. Yeah. Listen, tons of people love tequila, and I get it. Tequila is a very popular drink. It's just not my flavor.
If you can't say no to someone giving you a shot of tequila, what's next? You can't say no to someone if they offer you meth. I mean, you have to put up your boundaries. Be clear about things.
Are you guys ready for the latest virus we have to worry about?
Oh, boy.
What kind of virus?
This one could be out of Wuhan as well. There is a new virus that's killing lawns.
Oh, yeah.
And the virus is spreading to local counties.
Lawns? Like
lawns. Like my front, like, get off my lawn. Like that. So, we don't have enough to worry about. We have to worry about a new lawn virus.
That's fine. My lawn's all weeds anyway.
There's something going around in my neighborhood as well. I don't know if it's all over the place, but there's some kind of, fungus among us, and it's killing, shrubs or hedges. There's, this green hedge-like plant, and you drive through my neighborhood, and there are just chunks of dead brown spots. So there's some kind of a hedge fungal virus thing. And now I saw this on Channel 28's website, and the headline is, grass virus that kills lawns has spread to Hillsborough County. Experts encourage people to learn signs. Yeah, mosaic virus, a grass disease. It's important people know how to identify it. Once you cross off your chinch bugs and your root rot and your other possibilities, your telltale signs are going to be your yellow splotches going through the blades. Yeah. Mosaic virus was first discovered back in the 1960s around the sugarcane fields in South Florida. Says Susan Haddock. Susan, I like your fish. With the Hillsborough County Extension of the University of Florida Institute of Food and Agricultural Sciences. So when this thing first developed in the 60s and it's now crept its way to Hillsborough County. Like, we don't have enough to worry. You got like palm viruses. You got now we got to worry about some lawn freaking virus.
It's awful.
Ugh. Tell you what folks are doing in my neighborhood. I just can't get into it. Have you seen the people that are putting in the fake grass?
Dude, I saw one a couple of months ago. It is like AstroTurf.
Yeah.
And like leaves that blow on it just sit there unnaturally on it. Yeah.
It's happening a lot in my neighborhood. Like the guy across the street from me, the two houses across the street from me, they've got fake turf. They got fake AstroTurf. Then down the street, there are a couple places as well, just like 4 or 5 houses down. So there's a number of fake grass places in my neighborhood. I don't like it. I just think it looks phony.
It is.
Well, thank you.
I mean, duh, it's exactly what it is. Are they that pissed off at their lawn guy or something? Why they can't get out there with a mower?
Yeah, look, I think that some people, if you got a lot of oak trees and it's tough growing grass, you put the stuff down. But I don't know, it just looks like it's freaking putt-putt. I'm looking for the windmill. I'm looking for the windmill to shoot my little putt-putt ball through. I'm looking for the clown face to putt my ball through. All right, hey, is this good news or bad news? O.J. Simpson has prostate cancer.
Oh, that's bad news.
What?
Oh, really? You have sympathy for a double murderer?
No, I just...
You got sympathy
okay.
for a guy that nearly cut off Ron and Nicole's heads?
Okay.
Roxanne is
Listen.
sympathy for a double murderer, O.J. Simpson.
So where do you draw the line to where it's good news? What about Charles Manson? What if he had prostate cancer?
Well, okay. Here's the thing.
What about Jeffrey
when
Dahmer?
I hear the word cancer...
What about Adolf Hitler? Would you be going, that's too bad.
poor
Adolf Hitler has prostate cancer. Oh, that's a shame.
Prostate cancer!
Oh, what did you say?
Prostate cancer!
Adolf is joining us this morning.
Roxanne, can you elaborate, please?
Yeah, okay, well, let me just tell you. When I hear the word cancer, I don't wish that on anyone. I don't find that to be good news for anybody. I'm just programmed that way, having had relatives who've,
We all have.
We all have.
We've all had relatives.
I never think when I read a headline that anybody has cancer, oh, good news. But now that you guys are throwing more names around the room.
I mean, okay,
Those
are you
names are-
upset? I was mildly touched for a nanosecond when I heard Toby Keith died this week, right?
I always tell people Fester's a bit touched.
Yeah.
He's been
Wait, you were touched? You mean like...
I was like, oh, man, Toby Keith had some good songs. Oh, rest in peace, bro. And that was it. And then I'm over it. But like O.J. Simpson, he kicks the bucket tomorrow. I'm like, deuces. See ya, killer.
You know what? I can't get upset. O.J. Simpson killed Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown. I'm sorry. I can't get upset about O.J. Simpson being treated with chemotherapy now for prostate cancer.
Well, I just want you to watch this one documentary on the BBC, and I'm going to send it to you. I've talked to you about this
Would you be
before.
upset if Timothy McVeigh, if he had prostate cancer? Oh, it's a shame. Oh, I feel so bad for Timothy McVeigh.
Feel bad.
He's got.
Well, hopefully, I mean, prostate cancer is usually, that's my relative who's in the medical field calls it the JV of cancers. That's an easier cancer too.
Oh,
if you catch it early enough.
Yeah, prostate cancer is remarkably curable if you catch it early.
Right.
How about Vince McMahon? You okay with him catching it?
Okay, now I'm going to go home and make a list of people that I wouldn't mind. Terrible.
The stuff that happens on this program. 9:22 at the MJ Morning Show. We got one final chunk of the show next, and I got a lot of stuff that I got to cram in. And listen, I'm still trying to get bearings. It always takes me like a day or two. And the jet lag, trust me, I'm about to get slammed. We've got concert tickets to give away. We've got sticks,
We got hacking DJ.
We got Styx, Foreigner, and John Waite tickets. So we'll give away concert tickets in the final segment. I got a lot of stuff. Seriously, I'm waiting for the jet. I've been okay all morning, but just kind of getting back on my feet. But the jet lag, we were 14 hours ahead. And
so what does that mean? What time locally did you go to bed?
Locally, I went to bed depending on how, because I did 4 dives a day. I did 2 dives in the morning, 2 dives in the afternoon. I did 42 dives in 11 dive days.
Right, but when you put your head down at night, what time was it here in Tampa?
In Tampa?
Yeah.
Local time there was, on average, I went to bed at about 10 or 11 p.m.
So that's like, what, 1 o'clock in the afternoon here?
No, so it's 14 hours later. So I'm sorry. Yeah, Indonesia was where we were in Raja Ampat. We were 14 hours later. So Tampa Bay was 14 hours earlier. So if I were to take 10 p.m. at night, let's say 10 p.m. Friday night in Tampa, it would have been
2 p.m. Saturday?
No, it's earlier. So it would have been 8 a.m. the day before. So, or that day rather. So you got it. 10 p.m. at night in Raja Ampat, Indonesia was 8 a.m. here in Tampa Bay earlier that day.
So it's almost bedtime for you.
So right now, if I were to look at the time, right now where I was for the last 2 weeks, the time is now 11:24 p.m. So it's almost tomorrow. So 14 hours up. So I'm still trying to get used to that. All right, what time is it? 9:24 right now. Quick break. Final chunk of the MJ Morning Show. Your chance to call in and win the concert tickets on the way in minutes here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Now the... I don't have time to do this today, but while we were on hiatus last couple of weeks, the list of last year's rejected license plates from Florida DMV came out.
I love them.
All right, I've got like 13 pages of spreadsheet that I've got to go through. So I saw the story, and it had some of the highlights, but a cursory scroll through 13 spreadsheet pages from Florida DMV yields many additional license plate rejections for the customized, personalized plates than were reported in the plethora of stories in Florida media. So tonight, I'm going to go through it, and we'll spend some time on it tomorrow with rejected license plates that DMV said, no, we're not going to issue that plate. So it's a phenomenal list. What do you say about scheduling?
Oh, after the show, we're going to have a quick 2-minute meeting and talk about schedules for the next 2 months, like days off for different people like me.
Okay.
Is that good for you, MJ?
Well,
do you have time after the show to do a quick little...
Yeah, I mean, I've got my workout at X-Force at 10:30, but
okay.
I'm sure we can... Now, I know what you're getting at. You want to take time off during spring break, which is next month in March. But I do not. Let me tell you right now that you guys are absolutely entitled to take spring break. You've got kids in Hillsborough County Public Schools, or I know that Fester and Froggy's kids are in Hillsborough County Public Schools. Your kids are, or not, I don't even know. But the point is that I understand that spring break is coming up. Am I planning on taking spring break off? I'm not. I just took a rare vacation at the end of January into early February because I had this Raja Ampat Indonesia scuba trip fall into my lap, and I took advantage. But am I planning on taking another week off for spring break in March? No, I'm not.
Okay.
But am I going to tell you guys you can't go? Of course not. So, Froggy, are you taking... What has Kim done as far as spring break goes?
When's that?
It's somewhere March like 14th or something?
I think you guys are gone for spring break.
I don't know. I got to go to Houston.
Yes. So Froggy is...
I'm working.
He's out for that week of spring break. So it's just Fester and I. So that's why we have to have this meeting as well.
All right, so Froggy's going to be out the whole time?
Where
I
you
think
go?
so.
You got a shelf show?
Yes.
Hey, I'll call Kim.
I think, man, I don't know. I'm a busy man.
You are a busy guy.
Wait a minute, you going on vacation with your kids? Or you going to some shelving convention?
I got a shelving convention.
That's coming up soon.
Hold on, during your kids' spring break?
Yes.
He's bringing Max to the shelving convention. To
Hello?
assemble.
Teaching him the ropes.
Hey, Kim, it's MJ, Froggy, Fester, Roxanne Live. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you guys?
All right, so are you taking spring break off?
Undecided at this point. We're still determining what we're going to be doing.
All right, now we're having a conversation here because Roxanne wants to meet after the show about planning. And I said to the crew, I'm like, hey, listen, I'm not taking spring break off, but in no way am I going to prevent you from doing so. I understand you have families, you have kids, and your kids are in schools. Your kids are, much younger than mine. My kids are in college. Well, Chloe's out now. But, if you guys want to take spring break, I fully understand it. But why would it be undetermined? And then Froggy's like, he thinks he has a shelving convention during spring break, or is that erroneous?
He's got a show in Houston. I just don't know the dates of that, but I know it's in March. He's got the upcoming Orlando show next.
Yeah, I'm out next week.
And then he
hold on, what?
Yeah.
Wait,
I'm in
hold on.
Orlando next week.
You're out next week?
Yes, I've got a show in Orlando.
Wait,
so if
hold
anybody wants to come out to the Orlando convention and say hi to Froggy.
Wait, you're out all next week?
Yes, sir.
Hold on, you're out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week?
Yeah, I got to build the booth and then I got to sell from it.
Wait, is that true, Kim?
I love Mr. Guy just back from Indonesia for 2 weeks to go scuba diving and shocked that he's going to be out for a week to go work somewhere else.
Well, hold on.
What the hell are you talking about? I am going to wear scuba gear.
But the secret of the MJ Morning Show is, I get 6 weeks of vacation a year. All right, I get 6 weeks. I've worked 42 freaking years in this business, and I deserve my 6 weeks.
Good. Yeah.
But the little dirty secret here on the MJ Morning Show is that the crew gets more vacation than me because they get more my time off, and then they take their time off. So it's like Fester and Froggy get like double the vacation that I get.
Well, Fester and Froggy do. Roxanne does not,
Right.
because Roxanne worked for the 2 weeks while you guys have been gone. So it was nice to sleep in, but I still had to put in pretty much a full day.
I came in one day to do an egg test challenge that apparently sucked. So
it did. It's terrible. All right.
With the whole thing with spring break, I don't know why you're so shocked that people want to take it off when.
Well, hold on a minute. I didn't say I'm shocked.
He's
But
not
Kim, I just said I understand that you guys want to take spring break, and that's no problem.
Okay.
I'm just not planning on taking another week off after I just took 2 weeks off.
Interesting.
Yeah, on a vacation that only worked for you. That's not their fault that they're going to take.
What, do you want me to take all your families to Indonesia with me as well?
Let's go.
No, but just don't give us grief about when we have
I'm not giving you grief. I said, listen, please.
But you are in a roundabout. I'm not giving you grief, but I am really giving you grief.
He's not.
I mean,
He
it's
isn't.
just, the usual backhanded way of you giving people a hard time.
Are you planning a family vacation or trip that week that you can think of, Kim?
We're undecided on where we're going to go or what we're going to do, if anything, because like I said, Froggy has to take off a week in February and then another and more time off in March to go do the shows that he's going to go do. So
Holy
we're
crap.
undecided. We have nothing booked yet.
Okay.
I don't get vacations, buddy.
You want to get
Honestly, when he gets a vacation from the morning show, he still has to do his other job. So these 2
It's
weeks,
still more
just
work.
like Roxanne still had to do middays, he still had to do all his other work that he does. And I'm sure Fester was slinging RVs while you were in Indonesia.
Yeah, none of us really feel, that's a great point. None of us feel incredibly rested. We were doing our picking
I'm
up.
actually more tired than ever.
Yeah,
I did 42 scuba dives while I was in Indonesia. I don't feel rested either. I feel invigorated. I don't go on vacation to rest. I go on vacation to do.
I come to the morning show to rest.
I would assume you're a little jet lagged, maybe.
It's gonna hit me at some point. It hit me for a little bit yesterday. I rolled in we landed at 6:03, wheels down at Tampa International yesterday morning. I was up until like 11 a.m. yesterday. So from 6 a.m. to 11, I was awake. And then, man, I crashed at 11 a.m. and I woke up at like 3:30 yesterday. And then watched the Super Bowl, obviously. And then I fell asleep about 1 a.m., got up at 4:45, and I feel totally awake and alert. But I'm gonna crash later on today, I think.
Yeah, your sleeping habits sound like Froggy sleeping habits.
Yeah.
Last one to wake up, only person to nap, first person to go to bed in our house. I think he has mono.
Great to hear. All right. Well, listen, let us know on spring break. And you're telling me Froggy's going to be away next week in Orlando and then again in March?
It happens
I don't
every
feel
year,
like
bud.
I'm sharing new information. Ask Froggy, who's sitting right there. It's his travel schedule.
He doesn't know. He doesn't even know what he's going.
Yeah.
All I know is that we've been doing the show now, the MJ Morning Show. We've been back for 3.5 years now. And all I know is that it just seems that every year there are 9 more trade shows that are being added to the calendar.
You know what that means? Business is booming.
That's true. But I thought he was leaving on Tuesday. But if it's Monday, it's Monday. I don't know. I'm going to be doing my thing here.
Yeah,
right.
Don't worry about it, buddy.
Well, you do your thing. Thank you, Kim. And let us know if you're so he could be taken off for shelving and also be taken off spring break as well?
No.
Perhaps.
Possibly.
All right.
Hey, thanks, Kim.
Possibly.
So Froggy's going to have 3 weeks away from the show in the next month?
Perhaps.
Everybody will miss me, I'm sure.
Wow. All right. All right, Kimmy.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so Festa, where are you? Are you going anywhere for spring break?
We're thinking about going to a wolf farm in the Panhandle.
What? Are you serious?
What?
Yeah, there's a place where you can
Well,
rent these cabins that have
as in
yeah,
wolves.
There's a wolf preserve. Yes,
Like
You
that?
do the dumbest stuff.
yeah. It's called the Seacrest Wolf Preserve.
Ryan Seacrest.
Hey, listen, come see my wolf.
Ryan Seacrest Wolf Preserve.
And it's in Chipley.
I'm the
Florida.
new wolf man.
Yeah, and you could rent these cabins, and all night long it's wolves just.
Oh my God! He just brought up the Google page. It's got a 4.6 with 460 Google reviews.
Sounds like a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, it's
Where do you guys come up with
Seacrest Wolf Preserve
Hey,
on Bonnet Pond Road in Chipley, Florida.
Yeah.
count down the top 10 wolves to be howling tonight.
So that might be the thing.
So,
Maybe not. I don't know.
Froggy, you could be gone. Festa, you could be gone. Roxanne, are you going for spring break as well?
Why do you think I've called this meeting? Yeah, I'm the one who wants to have it because
What meeting?
We're
Frog,
you
we're
weren't in
having
here.
a 2-minute meeting after the show.
Oh, I
Well,
can't. I got a
Okay.
thing.
Well,
Then-
I will be here, so I might have to bring
I'm
in.
gone next Friday. I just want to tell you.
Oh, so now you're gone next Friday.
Oh, next Friday it's just you and Fester.
Yeah, that's
let
why
me-
I need to tell you this. So you can
let
have
me
Chloe
guess.
come
You
in.
got to bring cupcakes to your kids' preschool.
Very close.
So
yes.
you got to be out.
Donuts.
You got to be out the whole day.
The whole day.
Yeah,
Donuts.
whole
the whole
day gone because you. Are you serious?
I am doing a class field trip that day.
Oh,
yeah.
geez. And you can't do the morning show. And what time's the field trip? What does the field trip start at 6 a.m.?
The field trip starts at 6 a.m.
Yeah,
Dude,
Yeah,
well,
it
while
does.
you were on vacation, I got to chaperone one of my son's field trips. We went to Tampa, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And the manatee enclosure area, the kids started throwing lettuce at me. And I'm like, no, I'm.
Don't feed the manatees and Fester.
It's funny.
Hey, speaking of animals, I guess they found the kangaroo that got loose. You see, there was a story while we were out.
How did,
Yeah,
from
what was up with
where?
Yeah, some lady is a kangaroo out in, I guess, an apartment complex near Fowler and 56th.
That's cool.
And lady she has like 2 kangaroos and one got out.
Is a kangaroo a
I
domesticated
got
pet?
audio of the kangaroo. Yeah. I mean, some people have kangaroos, and I think you can get permits.
All right, so
I got swatted by a kangaroo on my honeymoon in Australia.
Dude, what a bunch of kangaroos showed up at your house? What do you mean?
Yeah, I thought that too.
Tie me kangaroo down. Remember that song?
Do you take a kangaroo for a walk? I mean, do you just go everywhere?
No, they'll
Kangaroos
put-
will kick
yeah.
your ass.
I'll
They'll
tell you
like
what.
punch you and do karate kicks and stuff.
I got swatted by a kangaroo. Ask Michelle. We were in.
How did they get your address?
Swatted.
Yes.
You get it? It's slow as hell.
That's real funny. I seriously, I was at a kangaroo farm outside of Sydney, Australia, back in the summer of '94. Michelle and I were on honeymoon in Australia, and they give me nasty little things. They'll take their little T-Rex arm paws and they'll swat you, man. They'll whack you. They pack a punch.
Yeah, right. That one guy punched one and
Regretted it.
No, he ran away, but he saved his dog's life.
Yeah, so I guess the kangaroo was found. Yeah, the story was, I guess, last week, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office got a call about a loose kangaroo. And the kangaroo, something about the kangaroo was trapped in an apartment complex pool area near Fowler and 56th. And, finally they were able to catch the kangaroo, and the kangaroo was reunited.
Oh.
Reunited. And it feels so good with its owner. There was, I guess, the permitting, the registration for having the exotic kangaroo, all the paperwork was intact. So the owner was reunited with their kangaroo. Yeah, so it was last Thursday, loose kangaroo, and the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office Agricultural Unit was able to catch the kangaroo and give the kangaroo back to the owner.
I'll kick a kangaroo.
Does the landlord know that this lady has?
No. I think the kangaroo, was at a house, and I think the story was that the owner of the house had the kangaroos in the backyard, and some work was being done on the house, and the contractor left the gate open, and one of the kangaroos got out, and then the kangaroo ends up, hopped over to this apartment complex near 56th and Fowler. I was hanging out at the pool. Oh, and you never stick your hand in a kangaroo's pouch. I think that's why I got swatted, and I think that's what happened.
That's a lesson learned there, man.
No, but I got whacked. I got swatted. I'm telling you.
You because you stuck your hand in the pouch.
Yeah.
You should have gotten whacked.
I think
that's like a person just grabbing your keister.
Yeah, or yes, or putting. That would be weird if I put my hand in Fester's pocket right now.
You put your hand in my pocket anytime you want.
Twinkies.
Before we get out of here, I thought this was pretty funny. I don't do a lot of foreign stories, but this is just too funny. Did you see the sign that was put on the door of a Canadian Pizza Hut?
What? No. You mean Pizza Hut?
That was their commercial yesterday.
With a honey pizza, which I don't think I'm going to go for.
Canadian Pizza Hut made news last week. Employees posted a sign on the front door that read, "Due to unforeseen circumcisions, the dining room will be closed tonight."
I mean,
that's
a good reason to take a day off.
I hope that circumcision aftermath didn't end up as a topping.
Oh.
Yeah, extra pepperoni.
Extra penis-roni.
Besser, did you see the new Reese's Cup?
What's in it?
Caramel covered.
Yeah, that was a commercial also.
How'd you miss that, dude?
I got up a bunch of times. I apparently missed a bunch of commercials. I was making hot dogs. We had chili Coney dogs for the
very, very nice.
Yum.
Yeah, so Canadian Pizza Hut, for whatever reason, they had to close the dining room. I didn't even... how many sit-down Pizza Huts remain? I thought most of the Pizza Huts were all like delivery or pickup places in like strip malls these days.
Yeah,
are there still sit-down Pizza Hut restaurants anywhere locally?
Somebody needs to open a Pizza Hut that's a throwback to the 80s version.
With the buffet?
And the red cup.
Or don't you love seeing other businesses that clearly have an old Pizza Hut location with that crazy kind of that roof they had?
I had a lawyer on Park Boulevard that was in an old Pizza
Hut.
Pizza
Hut location. With that crazy kind of slope roof with the rectangular thing on top, right?
Lawyer Hut.
It's all painted taupe now. Yeah. I'm like, come on, man, it's a Pizza Hut.
So Reese's has their new a caramel covered peanut butter cup.
I'm about it.
I gotta try those.
Yeah. All right, we gotta call it a day. Back from vacation, feels good. Yeah, my Instagram's all jammed up. If you didn't see all my great videos and pictures from Indonesia. On my Instagram, it's Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio. Folks, have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow. The MJ Morning Show on Q105, and let's be careful out there. Let me see if we've updated the Anna Jarn Levine promo while I was away.